You name me another song about the guy that wrote Eve of Destruction, and that's half as good as that one. There we go. Let's qualify it with that, shall we? Let's qualify it with that. P.F. Sloan, one of rock's great... passed away a few years ago. One of rock's great eccentrics, and by eccentrics I mean absolutely nuts. Sings the high parts on most of the Jan and Dean records. Let's not mention that next time Dean comes on, because he overdubs his parts. Wrote Eve of Destruction. What else did P.F. Sloan write? Anyway, loads of stuff. And that is a song about P.F. Sloan by Jimmy Webb. Jimmy Webb is coming on the show at 11 o'clock tonight. And boy, oh boy, have you got his number there?
I've got his phone number in my diary.
Wowzers. Boy, oh boy, let's just say I've got a music... Hold on. I have got a music boner right now. And everyone's going, oh, yeah, play Wichita Lineman. Play By the Top... Guys. I have... planned this song list about a year ago in the hope that Jimmy Webb would be coming on the show, and he is, and the song list is a sorted, guys. It is a sorted, so please don't anybody chip in with your suggestions. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is there. Sam is through the glass and will be answering your phone calls. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio. Apologies for not being in yesterday. I was doing a TV programme in the morning and I just couldn't be bothered to turn up. Not really. I was puking and shitting like nobody's business. Seriously, I did Monday's show, and the last hour... Do you remember the last hour? I said I got a bit of a dicky tummy.
Yeah.
And as the show ended, I noticed that my stomach was quite bloated.
You mentioned it, actually.
Did I?
On air.
I mentioned the bloating. And then I thought, oh, that's what my boy had a few hours before he started puking, his really swollen stomach. And I thought, but I just feel a bit windy, it'll be fine. And then I was staying in a hotel, and I got to the hotel, and Catherine very kindly dropped me off. And literally, as I got to the room, I thought, oh, I got to go to the toilet, and I got to go now. And honestly, it was water. You don't need to know this, but you're going to know it. Water came out. And I had to be up at I had to be up at 6:30 because I was being picked up at 7:20 to go and do The Right Stuff on Channel 5. And didn't get a wink of... I sort of got some half sleep. And I was having a really... it was like a sort of dream, but I was awake because I could open my eyes and see I was in the hotel room. Then I closed my eyes. And it was basically... I had 700... I remember I had 700 pounds of cocaine, and Vic and Bob were stealing it. That was kind of this... And I was really anxious. And then I just kept getting up and going to the toilet and puking. And it was awful. And I was thinking, I can't do The Right Stuff. So I texted my agent, but of course he's got a life, you know. He looks after Tony Blackburn, so he's got far more important clients than me. And then I didn't have a phone number to phone up The Right Stuff. And also I thought, it's really poor show to be put up in a nice hotel and then phone up and say, I can't come in today. So I went in and did The Right Stuff. And if any of you saw it, I looked all right because I had loads of makeup on, right?
You looked a little bit green.
Even through the makeup, it was... flippin' heck, man. I didn't know. I thought it was an hour and a quarter. It was 2 hours. Right? Anne Diamond was hosting it because Matthew Wright was off sick. Lightweight. He needs to man up. And I have never... at one point, I had gathered my microphone packs because I was going to get up and walk off because I thought I was going to puke. I don't know if they were talking about Carillion or whatever. And I just felt the sweat coming, and I felt the heave, and I thought, right, I've got to get up and walk out of a live TV show. And I managed to suck it back down. And then, luckily, the sections were like 12 minutes each. So when the adverts came on, I just kind of slumped in the chair. And as they do 3, 2, 1, and you just had to suck it up. And there was one section of the show where I said nothing, literally nothing. So I did it, and then I got back to the hotel room, and literally as I got to the hotel room, I tried to let out a fart.
Oh God, do we need this bit?
I think it's important because I don't think male follow-through is talked about enough.
Well, there's a reason.
I don't think it's talked about enough, guys. And listen, I'm rightfully being praised for breaking down barriers around men's mental health. Okay, and I'm happy to take those plaudits. But I think the important issue that we are not discussing. By the way, send this bit off as a clip to be go viral.
Literally go viral.
Seriously, do. From the start of this monologue. Right. I don't think that we are doing enough in society to address the all-important issue of middle-aged man follow-through.
Oh, my God.
And so that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. We've got a spokesman coming on from the Men's Follow-Through organisation, SHIT, which stands for...
It should be shart, surely.
Sorry, happened in trousers. Well, it did. I did. I followed through in the hotel room. There's no two ways around it. And so I then spent anyway, I've spent an afternoon in the hotel room feeling very, very ill. I hope Jimmy Webb isn't listening. Although, to be honest, he's probably done much worse than this, having read his autobiography. So I spent the afternoon in the hotel room thinking, I've got to leave this hotel room. I've got a late checkout at 6, but there's no way I'm going to get to work. And and then I just got a cab, and the cab took me back home to my pathetic little flat in Slough. And I got there 7:30, and I fell asleep at 8. I woke up about 11 and ate a massive bar of chocolate I bought. And then I fell asleep and woke up at 8:30 this morning. Slept through for almost 12 hours straight.
So you reckon the chocolate stops it?
Well, I don't. I just needed sugar. I bought the chocolate because I knew I'd need sugar and caffeine. There's caffeine in chocolate, guys. I knew I'd need it because I hadn't eaten anything. I tell you what I'd eaten. I'd eaten the 2 complimentary biscuits in the hotel room and 2 very small bananas. And that was it. So that's why I wasn't in last night. So Rufus Hound he's literally taken dirty money to come and fill in for me last night. So thank you, Rufus. Thank you, listeners. Now, I'm fine. Just to say, I am fine. I've spent all day in bed wearing the same clothes I wore on the right stuff. Yes, I slept in my clothes. I've been wearing them in bed all day. I first stood up at about 2:30 and then sat back down again very quickly, very lightheaded. But... do you know what, guys? We're going to make it. We're going to do this. We're going to do the show. It's going to be A-OK, and we're going to get there. All right? Good. So these are the things I want to talk to you about this evening. First of all, being sick at work. We'll have that. We'll have that. And yes, follow-through stories. 0344. It's not going to be a classy show, Catherine, but it's going to be an honest show. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You'll speak to Sam. Don't go into great detail about your story with Sam. He's young, and this has probably never happened to him. So I don't want you to, I don't want to upset the boy. It could be considered abuse. 0344 499 1000. It's probably free. Cost you pennies at most. We call you back. Also, I want to talk about unnecessary cover versions. For some reason, I was thinking a lot about the River City people and their version of California Dreaming.
I was given that on vinyl, yeah. I won it on a pre-karaoke night.
Yes.
Before karaoke was karaoke.
All right, mate, don't pretend you invented karaoke.
No, I kind of did. The DJ would, put records on and sing over the top of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I won a River City People album, a single.
Well, this is their version.
Wanted to get rid of it.
This is their version of California Dream. It's a big hit. Te quiero.
You can hear they sound scouse.
Well, she's a naughty lady, judging from the video. He's a knob. She's sick. Oh, it's a bloke. He's a knob. Basically, 3 knobs and a naughty lady. Which is, incidentally, the title of my autobiography, which is coming out very, very soon, guys.
I'll go on for him.
Yeah, go on.
Lamar. Do you remember when he did the letter?
Oh, Lamar. I like Lamar.
I like Lamar. I do too.
Good voice, good talent.
That song.
Yeah, that was... he slowed it down, didn't he? And the thing about the letter, I think... this is another...
urgency.
This is another phone we're doing tonight as well, the shortest songs in pop. I've got a feeling, and Catherine, you can Google this, I think the letter is 1 minute 47 seconds long. I think. It's definitely under 2 minutes. I'm going to say the letter by the Box Tops is 1 minute 47 seconds long, written by Alex Chilton, who was only 16 at the time. Go on.
Hang on.
Hey? Oh. I thought you were shaking your head because you had the answer. 0344 499 1000.
1:58.
Oh, I was 11 seconds out. It's still under 2 minutes.
And sung by a child.
Sung by a child. We're going to do short pop songs, unnecessary cover versions, being sick at work and following through. Please don't tell Jimmy Webb that we're talking about 2 of those things, because I think he'll get very, very upset. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
I wonder.
Listen, phone, talk.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Oh, I got my car a Ford Motorcraft service.
It's gonna get
cost just £149
way.
at a participating Ford dealer, and it included a 30-point e-check. Oh, well, at least my Ford will be prepared for winter.
Book your Ford Motorcraft service at ford.co.uk. Prices recommended.
Oh, you can't hear that. That's what we need, headphones. I knew that was
Terms
something.
and conditions apply.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. With stunning HD video, crisp audio, and instant wireless sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing. Where do you charge an electric car?
Eight
How
calls lined up.
quickly can I do it?
How far
Admittedly,
can you go on
Wasim
one
and
charge?
Kadira, 2 of them myself.
Can I charge it at home?
Do I need a house with a drive? Can you get an electric shock off them?
If I plug in my mobile phone, will the car's battery run out?
Can they go in car washes?
Got questions about owning an electric car? Get the answers at goultralow.com.
Top trade picks at TradePoint to kickstart 2018. Gonna do what? Contractor chest for just £30. Excludes VAT at 20%. Trade only.
Have I got PPI?
Want to know if you've had PPI? Find out with our free PPI check.
We had claimed back PPI in the past, but it turns out there were some lenders we hadn't checked. The service Stanton Fisher provided was absolutely brilliant. We received over £2,500.
But the claim deadline is set for August 2019, so text check to 80800 for your free PPI check.
Have I got PPI.com?
That's check to 80800.
Nothing to see here. Just a regular retriever eating his food, doing his thing while you're out doing yours, not raiding the bin, and no little surprises left on the floor. What a good boy. Nothing to see here means nothing to worry about. With the new Hive smart indoor camera, you can check on your home from your phone wherever you are. Search Hive to discover more. Hive. Let's get living. Hive services require broadband and Wi-Fi. Terms apply.
Winter's coming, so get your Ford ready with a Motorcraft service for just £149 at participating Ford dealers. Book at ford.co.uk. Price is recommended retail price.
Closing time conversation for tax inspectors, taxi drivers, and taxidermists. Great big talk for the wee small hours.
You've been trolling me big time, mate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Now, I'm so glad I did the right stuff yesterday. A, because it was a joy, because I love Anne Diamond. Who doesn't love Anne Diamond? So nice to see her. Genuinely, I love her. I've worked with her a few times, and I think she's delightful. And I like the gentleman who I sat next to, whose name completely escapes me. He's going to be on Julia's show on Friday, and his name is completely gone from me. And I also like the doctor she was from Embarrassing Bodies. But the real reason I liked it is because, as some of you will know, there's been a prank caller calling the right stuff who phones up. And apparently it's quite a complicated history. The story I've heard from 2 separate sources is that he is a flasher, and he phones up and says such and such is a slag, I think, or a bitch. And the person that he is naming is the person who got him arrested. So I don't know. He phones up, and I said to the staff there, I said, Matthew's reaction is terribly wrong. It's completely wrong. You know, he gets angry, and that's going to encourage not only this guy to call him, but other people to call him. So every time, if you've not seen the right stuff, one of those magazine shows where they talk about issues, so I went in there, right, having had no sleep and having been puking up all night. And I thought I knew what we were talking about. And they said, right, so we've changed the stories. The first story is Carillion. Who do you think's to blame, Ian? I went, what? The Carillion story. Who do you think's to blame? I went, I haven't got an effing clue. And I'll be honest, I couldn't give a toss. Because I haven't, and I couldn't. You know, I know it's a big story, and I know it affects loads of people. But do you know what? I find it really, really, really boring and really, really complicated. And I said, I haven't got a clue. But you talk about newsy kind of stuff and stuff that's in the papers, and it was fun, and I really, really enjoyed it, actually. It was a really nice experience going on there. But one of the cool things was, I need to find it now, hang on a second. So I was waiting for this guy to call in. Now, he didn't call in, right? But someone else did call in. Oh, why can't I find it now? And I just retweeted it. Here we go. I got it. Someone did call in. Now, we're talking about, is it okay for men to cry? And I did say to them, I find the question offensive. You know, I think that is a dangerous question, but that's obviously what they're going to go with, right? And so this guy, John from Glasgow, called in, right, to give his thing. Now, this isn't the greatest audio, okay? So listen really carefully, because this is someone's filmed this off the telly, right? 121,000 views this has had. This is what you need to go viral. So it's Anne Diamond going, is it okay for men to cry? Let's go to John from Glasgow.
About this the fact that traditionally we expect our men to man up and bottle up their emotions. Is that a good thing?
Well, personally, I think men should be allowed to cry anytime, because they get a great relief. It's like doing a big shite in the toilet in the morning. You feel good after it, and it's nice to get it out and show people how you enjoy it.
Now, what he said there is, I'm going to play a slightly better audio version of it, but it's got the word shite bleeped out. So the bleep word is shite, okay? And this is at 11 minutes past 11 on daytime television. Here we go. Hang on a minute, I've got to play it from the beginning. Here we go.
So I think we've got John back on the line.
Oh, hi there, John in Glasgow.
Yes,
hi there.
You'll
Hello.
hear me
what
laughing.
What do you think about this? The
Right,
fact that
you hear me
traditionally we expect our men to man up and bottle up their emotions. Is that a good thing?
Well, personally, I think men should be allowed to cry anytime, because they get a great relief. It's like doing a big toilet in the morning. You
Big
feel good
shite
after
in the
it.
toilet. Then listen to me.
It's nice to get it out and show people how you're really feeling.
Put it very succinctly there.
That's me.
It's so true. I mean, let's check with the doctor. You do, in fact, when you cry, it releases endorphins.
She hadn't heard it. She thought he'd said, it's, you feel shite, then you get it out. Right? And he said it's like doing a big shot. And me and the fellow next to me, his name I can't... Martin somebody. Really interesting guy, actually. We were the only two people on the panel that heard it. So we're in hysterics, of course. You become a 12-year-old boy when someone drops something like that.
Literally. And
we were thinking, everyone else is being so grown up. They hadn't heard it. They hadn't heard it. Well done, John from Glasgow. That, guys, is what it's all about. You know, if there's I shouldn't really encourage that sort of behaviour, so I don't. But that's how you do it. The phone lines are full. Pick a number between 1 and 10, Kath.
1.
Okay, let's go to Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan.
Oh.
Evening, Ian.
How you doing, fella? What you got for us?
I want to talk about a internet journalist called Peter Sweeten.
Okay, Catherine, Google Peter Sweeten so we know who this guy is.
Peter Sweeten is a bit of a controversialist.
Okay.
He's very outspoken about Islamic immigration to the West.
Okay.
Last year...
How are we spelling Sweeten?
It's Sweden.
Oh, you said Sweeten.
You did say Sweeten.
No, I said... Clean out your ears, Ian.
Clean out my ears? My ears are completely clean.
Well, clean them again.
But you didn't say ears. All right, carry on, Jonathan.
Holocaust denier, white nationalist, extreme homophobe.
Well, hang on a second. Hang on. You've just... Where have you got that from?
Wikipedia.
Well, Wikipedia. Come on, guys. Anyone... I was a gay cowboy on Wikipedia for ages. I've never ridden a horse in my life. Okay. Don't go to... That's... I thought... I would have thought better of you. That's what the kids do, is go to Wikipedia. You're an old hand at this. You should instantly go to, like, the 3rd or 4th page on Google.
Shut up, this is Jonathan.
What the heck? Carry on, please, Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, last year, a certain organisation that is fawned over by politicians published the home address
of his parents.
Yes.
With the intent to cause his innocent parents distress, presumably because conceiving and giving birth to their son is some sort of political crime.
Yes, you can't blame the father for the son's crimes.
Yeah. Well, it's turned out that someone has poisoned Peter Sweden's parents' pet dog.
Well, that's terrible.
Yes. And I'm holding that organisation personally responsible for what happened to that dog.
Well,
and I want Amber Rudd to ban that organisation.
well, hang on a minute. All right, calm down. Otherwise, they're going to ban Brexit in a minute. What is the organisation?
Hope Not Hate.
But say that again. Hope Not Hate. So Hope Not Hate published his parents' address, did they? Why did they do that?
Presumably to cause his parents distress and maybe have some nutcase attack them.
Well, you say that, and yes, that would seemingly be the implication. But have Hope Not Hate? Did they not give a reason why they published his parents' address? And Catherine, I'm assuming you're fact checking this while we're talking. Of course,
looking on Hope Not Hate's website, I can't see his address on here.
Where did they publish the address?
I don't follow Peter Sweden. I just heard about it.
Right. Well, hang on a second. So how do you know that Hope Not Hate published Peter Sweden's address? I'm assuming you fact-checked it.
Because they've done it to other people.
No. How do you know that Hope Not Hate have published Peter Sweden's address? I'm assuming you fact-checked it.
Like I said, I don't follow Peter Sweden.
I don't know why you I don't know what that's got to do with it. How do you know that Hope Not Hate have published Peter Sweden's parents' address?
Because he said so.
Right, OK. He also said that the Holocaust didn't happen. So, it's kind of a little bit difficult to... Do you know what I mean? If someone tells one massive porky... then you really have to question everything that they say, don't you?
So you agree with poisoning your political opponent's head? You
have made a massive leap there and a massive connection that doesn't exist. What I'm saying is you have called in to say Hope Not Hate have published... And remember, I'm coming at this cold. I don't know anything about this. I haven't even heard this Peter Sweden guy. You've called in to say Hope Not Hate have published the address of the parents of a provocateur, but yet you have no evidence of that. You've not seen that on the Hope Not Hate website. You only have that person's word that happened.
I went on the Hope Not Hate their website this week, and there were a load of names and of groups and people and organisations.
Right, hang on, but they took. Right, and they had Peter Sweden's parents' address there.
Apparently, yes.
No. Apparently nothing. Did you see Peter Sweden's parents' address there?
No, I didn't.
Okay, right. What you need to do, because I'm happy to talk about this, okay? I'm really happy to talk about this. But what I need from you is evidence that Hope Not Hate published his parents' address. Otherwise it's just tittle-tattle and it's hearsay. And, I mean, this will be a tough one to get. It'll be really cool to get evidence that the dog died as well.
We don't know the dog died, only that it was poisoned.
There we go.
Okay, right, okay. What I found is they're talking about the fact that he's based a lot of his stuff on the fact that he's from Sweden. And
he's not from Sweden.
Well, that's
it's a marketing.
Can you let me finish?
Hang on. Everyone, just calm down. Go on. Right.
So what they're talking about here is they've gone into his family's business, his business that he's registered, and his father is registered as a director. Okay. So what they've done here.
Who are they?
Hope Not Hate.
Right.
Is they've said this is the business as listed, and it does have a correspondence address that's the same as Peter. And it does mention a man who lives at the same address. So from that, okay, you can say that they've
so what address have they published?
They've published a correspondence address that would appear that this guy lives at with his family.
Okay. Well, that is that's not a nice thing to do, is it?
No.
No.
But it's backing up the assertion that this company is being run by Peter Sweden. I think that's what it is. So it's
okay. And
I don't know about his views on the Holocaust. If he denies it, I obviously disagree with him. But you shouldn't go around poisoning innocent pets.
well, hang on. Okay, well now we go on to the next point. Where's the evidence that the pet has been poisoned?
Peter Sweden, today it was retweeted all over Twitter that his dog had been poisoned.
Do you know my cat got run over yesterday? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, my cat got run over yesterday and was killed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I've said that, and it didn't happen. And if I had tweeted that, then it becomes a real thing. And if I hadn't have corrected myself, then it would become a real thing. But you know, it's easy to say that a pet has been attacked, but also you've got to question everything, Jonathan.
Yeah, I do, and I find it disturbing in this day and age that innocent people are being targeted by so-called anti-fascists because of their family members.
Okay, well, we don't know if the dog was innocent, do we?
Oh, come on.
03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Driving home with Eamon Holmes.
Your number one drive time destination.
High revving radio with Eamon Holmes.
Showbiz news, current affairs, big names, special guests. If it's happening, we're on it. Get home with Holmes.
Driving home with Eamon Holmes. Weekdays from 4.
On Talk Radio. Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like the Matrix, and so are you.
The late night alternative.
Hello.
With Iain Lee.
Is there anybody out there?
On Talk Radio.
Hello.
Jimmy Webb is coming on at 11 o'clock, and if you don't know who that is, I want you to switch off your radios at 11. It means I've not been doing my job properly. Pick a number between 1 and 10. Don't pick 1, don't pick 4.
2.
Okie dokie. Hey, David. Hello, David.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. It sounds like you're on speakerphone, David, so correct that.
Yeah, well, I've fixed it now.
Excellent. Right. What have you got for us, Big David Badcock? Spiritualist, psychic and bullshitter extraordinaire.
Yes, my old friend Ian. Right. So, you all right then?
Very, very well, thank you.
Right.
Sorry? What's happening there?
Now.
Yes?
Billy, mate. A little bit of a predicament.
Okie dokie. Have you got your penis stuck in a Hoover again?
Well, no. No. I've been doing some cleaning.
Yes.
And as you know, whoa there. I cleaning the nude.
Yes.
And I thought I'd let my pet hamster Barry out for a little walk around while I did a little bit of whoa there.
Yes.
Cleaning. And I was just cleaning under his little cage.
Yes.
But I've quite have to bend down. And, well, he shot right up.
Up?
Nah, bummo. And he's been very wiggly.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure what to do. I've grabbed one of his legs like a wrestling move.
Can you I'm sure I saw this in the jungle. If you put your hand put one hand over your mouth. And if the other hand you pinch your nose and you blow and it will sort of push backwards. I think that works.
I'm scared of letting go of his leg because he might wriggle up.
Okay, is your mum not there?
No.
There's no one there. Could you, I think you might need to go to a neighbour's and get help.
Well, no, I'm not doing that.
I think
I'm gonna stuck my bottom.
Yes, I know. I think you might have to go next door to... How well do you know your neighbours?
They think I'm weird after the Hoover. There's been rumours about the Hoover.
Well, if they think you're weird, you've got nothing to lose. You might as well double down on hamster up the bumhole.
Well, the alternative is the RSPCA.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep it between me three and us three, if that's all. Okay.
By the way, can I ask, what's your favourite sandwich filling?
But probably not the time for talking about that.
No, just I want to pass this on to Eamon. What's your favourite sandwich filling? Cheese.
Prawn.
Prawn. Okay, pass that on to Eamon, please. Prawn.
Could I maybe coax him out?
Yeah, you could try that. Can you do the crab position? Because I always do that when I've got trapped wind, and it really seems to force it out.
Right, come on, Barry. Oh, right. The problem is when I've stood up, I've clenched him.
Okay. Wow.
And he's getting a bit ferrety.
Okay. Well, David.
Why do you put a carrot near it?
Yes.
Coax him out with a carrot.
Yes. Well, yeah. But what you might have to do is you might have to push the carrot up your bum hole.
Just a tip.
So that because then he'll turn around in your gut, and he'll get a real taste for it.
Hello.
And you should then be able to pull the carrot out, and he'll be dangling on the end. I wouldn't use the carrot again afterwards.
You can peel it.
Well, lettuce do.
Lettuce. Well, lettuce. If you can roll it up nice and tightly, yes.
Come on, Barry.
Okay, we'll leave you to get on with that, David. Thank you. Let's go to Rory. Hey, Rory in Northern Ireland, where this time in 2 weeks' time, we'll have been to Northern Ireland for the first time ever.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. I look forward to it.
Will we see you there, Rory?
You'll see me there. I'll be there. I'll come in and talk to you and shut up at the parts where I'm meant to shut up.
I think it's sold out, guys. I think Dublin has sold out. Only small venues, but Dublin has sold out and Belfast has sold out. The only show, we're doing Luton this Saturday. The only show that's not sold out is Bath, and that's selling out pretty darn quickly. So go to iainlee.com/events. Anyway, what have you got for us, Rory?
It's now like 20 to 11, and the news was meant to be on BBC One at 10 o'clock. And do you know what's on the TV now instead of the news?
No.
Football. Football, Chelsea versus Norwich City, live coverage of the third round replay between Chelsea and Norwich City in the FA Cup, and it's meant to be news on at 10 o'clock. I know you appreciate this because you don't like football. I want to see the news. And listen to your show at the same time.
Well, but the news wouldn't be on. The news wouldn't be on now. The news will have finished by now.
Yeah, exactly. And the news, it's like 10:30, and the news people, Fiona Bruce and them, are sitting, waiting patiently with their hands on their knees, waiting on the flipping football to finish.
We can tell you. We can tell you the news. Catherine's a professional.
Oh yeah.
Newsreader. Catherine, let's give Rory the news.
In Google, I'll just put news.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go. Top stories. Here we go. You do the bong.
Bong.
Bosses for Carillion. Oh, let's do it again.
Bong.
Bonuses for Carillion bosses are blocked.
Bong.
Korea's to march under single united flag in Olympic Games.
Bong.
Pakistani humanist denied UK asylum after failing to identify Plato.
Bong.
No, that's it. That's the news.
That's it. The news is boring, man. Who cares? And listen, if you're working for them, or if you know someone who's working for them, of course you care about it. But really, this Carillion story, I find it very, very hard.
It is very boring
to get excited about Carillion.
Yeah.
I really struggle to get my teeth into that one.
It's a bit much, the whole thing. Because why is it so boring? It's just because it's impenetrable and so multifarious.
What a surprise! A business with close ties to the government has gone bust, and half a dozen people are walking away with millions of pounds, and everyone else is screwed. I mean, okay, it sucks and it's horrible, but I've heard radio hosts on this station and others really trying to work up a sweat about it, and you can just hear people at home going, yeah, boring, guys,
It's terrible.
It's a shame. Well, there you go.
What's your favourite pizza topping?
I had a great pizza in Australia. It was peri-peri chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a bespoke pizza place. Not bespoke, artisan. And, peri-peri chicken, it was delicious. And I sat and watched the Chips movie. Oh, I had a great idea for a podcast. I had a great idea. Where's my book? I wrote down loads of good ideas, right, when I was in Australia, right? And I wrote down some good ideas for podcasts, I think. Well, I remember writing them down and thinking they were good. Here we go. Right. So the Chips movie, you know the TV series Chips, Rory?
Oh, yeah, when in the 80s.
Yeah, with Officer Poncherello. That
was my first crush.
Eric Estrada.
God, I love him.
Oh, mate, I love Eric Estrada. We should get him on the show. Let's get Eric Estrada on the show. He's still knocking around.
I don't think I can speak.
And it's like one of those postmodern spoofs of an old TV show, like the Starsky and Hutch thing. So his tongue is in its cheek, right? But it's a lousy movie. But I paid $20 to watch it on my hotel TV, eating this peri peri chicken, right? And it's a pretty crappy movie, but there's some good bits in it. And I thought a really good podcast would be the Chips movie podcast, where every week, right, all you talk about is the Chips movie. Every week. You just talk about another aspect from the Chips movie, and you get like film critics on. And 1 week you go, "We've got great news. We got someone that was actually in the Chips movie. We've got John." Now, if you remember the scene where they the guy walks in, the copper walks in, and all the other coppers are there. This is the second copper from the end of the line. Now, he doesn't say anything, but I thought, and you do it properly. I thought that'd be brilliant. You go into real, like, minute detail about Chips. What do you reckon, guys? Is it a winner?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Okay. And then I thought this is great, right? This is a great idea for a podcast, right? Each week it's a different theme, right? But you do it as though it is the 60-second episode of that podcast series, right? And you're doing something quite niche in each episode. But by episode 62, you've really run out of steam. You've run out of ideas. So it'll be, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, hello and welcome to another look at the original series of The Crystal Maze, Series 1, with Richard O'Brien. This is episode 62. Or no, it'll be even more. You make it really niche. And so it's like it's a whole podcast, like 35 minutes long, where it's just two hosts, a bit bored by the subject, not really like. But every week you do a different subject. That's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a funny idea, and that's an idea what I had, Rory.
Yeah, I think it's good if you have. It's better if you do podcasts and you have them about something. You can't just say this is a podcast about my life.
Yeah.
Because that could lead to so many.
Well, that's about
Chips movie.
That's about something, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but if it's about something, because years ago on my local radio station, they had this show called This Place, and people talked about this place.
Yes.
And the stories that came out of this place were very good, because they ended up talking about lots of different things and things that happened in the place. But then they replaced it with this other show called My Story.
Oh.
And that then you can imagine what you got then. You just got self-aggrandizing people coming on to talk about themselves because they thought they were special.
Yeah.
So I think you should always have subjects that are not necessarily about the person who's doing the thing or their life. Should be specific, and then you will open up and expand your whole story then.
Rory, thank you very much indeed. 034. Well, actually, don't call in because we've got loads of calls, and then we've got a guest on at 11. But they're a good idea for podcasts, aren't they?
I'm writing to Eric Estrada.
Are you? This is the world we live in, guys. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio. Don't forget, you can watch. We had 17,500 viewers for Monday's show, and now we're down to 178. If you want to watch the show, periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Or, of course, you can listen to us on DAB or by downloading the Talk Radio app. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Brighten up your mornings and take a break from the New Year blues with Mike Graham on Talk Radio with the Sun Halls from £9.50. Listen to Talk Radio every weekday morning from 10 for 3 hours packed full of fabulous features, great value guests and quick-fire calls on all of the day's top talking points. Don't miss Mike Graham on Talk Radio with the Sun Halls from £9.50. Great value breaks from just £9.50. For more information, go to thesun.co.uk/holidays.
Selco Builders Warehouse proudly presents
I'm going to start off with
Selco's Deal of the Week.
Selco, it's where the train goes. Get down to your nearest Selco this week and get 100ml Thermalite shield blocks for only 99p each ex-VAT. But hurry, this offer ends 21st of January. Selco's Deal of the Week. Find your nearest branch at selcobw.com. We got it at Selco.
Yep.
Selco, it's where the train goes.
There's a lot to look forward to in 2018.
Come on.
The drama of the Premier League.
Don't miss it.
Golf majors and the Ryder...
Guys, can you all do me a favour? If you swipe up, and then I think swipe to your right, it shares this video. That'll be really handy.
Formula One. And ECB cricket.
How is it? I've got it.
2018 on Sky Sports.
All the money in the world from director Ridley Scott is now BAFTA nominated for supporting actor Christopher Plummer. Critics are calling it terrific and thrilling.
Mr. Getty, how much would you pay to release your grandson?
Nothing. Plummer is simply fantastic and compellingly brilliant. All the money in the world. At cinemas now, rated 15.
Don't be down. See, things are looking up. There's
Thank you, Jake.
Upside to 2018 already.
Thank you, Daily
Just
Woodchip.
step up to the Renault Upgrade event. Upgrade
Yep.
your old
Thank you,
car with
Rosemary.
an additional £2,000
For sharing.
towards a Renault Kadjar, all new Koleos, or new Capture. It's up to you. Just order your upgrade by the 31st of March 2018.
Thank you, Bod.
Renault.co.uk/upgrade to find out more. Vehicles must be registered by the 31st of March 2018, subject to status, T's and C's apply, 18+. Retail customers only, participating dealers only.
Before you find a car and fall
Thank you,
in love,
Katie.
get a finance deal that fits you like a glove.
I can see on here that you tweeted.
Car finance 24/7.
Thanks,
Car
Think to
finance
Heal.
24/7. Get your finance first before you fall in love.
Apply now at carfinance247.co.uk. Car Finance 24/7 Limited are a credit broker, not a lender. All
Someone just called me babes. I like that.
APR 27.4%.
Car finance 24/7. Car finance 24/7. Get your finance first and then you're good to go.
John.
Even if you only employ one person, you have to provide a workplace pension.
Thanks,
It's the
Guy.
law. Get to know your responsibilities with help from the pensions regulator. Visit workplacepensions.gov.uk.
Thanks, Stacey.
George McTavish, Neephead Galloway.
Thanks,
you
Tony.
have been found guilty of presenting dangerously compelling radio. How do you plead?
Guilty as charged. Never said that before. The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway. Join me for
The
3
rest of you
hours
can go and get
double
stuff. I'm
galvanised
joking, of
opinion,
course.
supercharged debate, and highly energised crystalline vision.
Radio Free Galloway.
Knock me right down and I'll bounce right back. The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway. Innocent until proven guilty. Friday nights from 7 on the nation's new home of sizzling debate. Talk Radio. Maybe you can't handle the truth.
Thanks, Ezekiel.
Radio show where the owls are not what they seem.
Do you or have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
They could be dreaming and meeting each other in their dreams.
on Talk Radio.
Let's go to Ewan in South Wales. Good evening, Ewan.
Good evening.
How you doing, man? What you got for us?
And I was just about to talk about the weather from last night to today.
Okay. He's gone. Call Ewan back. See, maybe. Well, I don't know what happened there. I do. This is partly my bad. Is I do say people can call in about anything, and then when they call in about stuff that I think is dull, I go oh, and I should instead embrace the fact that they have called in and want to say something.
He did that yesterday. He started talking to Rufus and the phone went down and then we called him back and then we had a conversation. I don't know whether he thinks he's talking to Sam again.
Oh.
So he was just briefing him.
Oh, okay. Well,
we'll soon find out.
What did he want to talk to Rufus about the weather?
No, it was about something else.
I don't like it when Rufus fills in for me.
Why?
Because people say nice things about him on Twitter.
He's funny.
I want that lousy American guy to do it again. Because people don't like him. And you always, in this business, when you're off, you don't want anyone who is as good or possibly even better than you filling in for you, because the listener gets a little bit, ooh, and the bosses get a little bit, ooh, and you get a little bit, oh, geez. So when it's, let's not get Rufus in again. Well, what I'll do next time is I'll leave it till really late to phone in sick, and then they'll have to get the American man. That's what they'll have to do. Let's try Callum. Good evening, Callum.
Evening, you alright?
I've been better, Callum. How are you doing, buddy?
I've been better, but getting there.
Yeah, what's going on in Callum's world?
Oh, I've just had some personal problems. I don't want to talk about on radio, but...
Okay.
Just letting things settle, yeah.
Well, I just hope your personal problems get... I'm having some personal problems as well.
I think it's how things are at the minute, isn't it?
Are you a Gemini?
A Virgo.
Well, yeah, that's close, isn't it? When is Virgo?
September.
Okay, so it's close.
End of August, end of
Yeah,
September,
because Gemini's early June, so that's close. So maybe there's something in our stars that means we're going to have personal upheaval.
Maybe.
Could be. Do you find yourself living in a lonely bedsit, miles from anyone that loves you?
Not miles, but I've got my own flat.
Okay. Well, you're doing better than me. So you should consider that a victory, young Callum.
Yeah. I'd like to talk. Yeah.
Talk about the weather.
No, spirituality and infinite awareness. If I've got time quickly.
Here we go.
If you've got time quickly.
We've got time to talk about spirituality and infinite awareness. Of course we have. What does infinite awareness mean?
It means infinite awareness of all possibilities.
Wow. And do you have that?
We all do. We're all enlightened, but we all identify these days with body. But we're not the body. The body is a space that was biological computer for us to experience this reality, what science call visible light, which is 0.5%, which we see a fraction of that compared to what exists in the universe. We're all consciousness. We're all connected.
Well, we are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to find our way back to the garden.
Yeah.
Does that tie in? Those lyrics from Woodstock, written by Joni Mitchell, performed by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, does that tie in with what you're thinking?
Yeah, he's getting his way back to the source and what...
Okay, well then, let's take your premise as read. How do we access this infinite knowledge? Some people, of course, the Shaman, not the pop group, would... Is Mr. C dead?
I'm a bit shamanic. I've got a bit of a shamanic personality.
Well, the Shaman would recognise many different ways, including meditation, including the whirling dervish, including intense prayer, and also including psychedelics and hallucinogens.
DMT. That occurs naturally in his brain. It's a spirit molecule.
The spirit
dream with it.
molecule.
Been flooded with it. Yeah.
Now, I've heard of this spirit molecule before. Because, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? When you die, right, everybody is... Whether they do a death... Forget the death poo, right? Oh, God. When you die, this is a fact, you are 21 grams lighter than when you were alive. That's a fact.
Your soul's left the body. Yeah.
There we go. Catherine is doing a Quincy face. I swear to God that is true.
I know, well...
Google it.
Have you ever done that levitation trick?
Open your mind to possibilities.
Just open your mind up to the possibilities.
Well, the levitation trick where it's like relaxation and all of a sudden you can lift someone up with two fingers.
Oh, I thought you meant the thing where you've got a blanket over you and you put shoes on broomsticks. I've done that.
No, the one where you have someone lying down on the floor and you try and lift them up with a finger under around.
Up
And you
bumhole.
can't. No, not. You don't have to have any purchase.
Personal, Kath.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit personal, isn't she, Callum?
You guys always do. You just place it very gently underneath. It doesn't have to get any purchase.
All right, Kevin Spacey.
I'm sure you do.
And
I bet. Miss Jones.
Anyway, and you can't lift them up. And
Miss Jones.
And then you kind of do this like chant.
I bet you do, Miss Jones.
And then they relax.
All right, Harvey Weinstein.
So then
Hashtag me too.
You can lift them up.
I'm not making light of sexual assault.
You are.
I realise that, and I don't mean to. Callum did. But what's that got to do with the 21 grams of the soul?
I think it's about the relaxation of the muscles.
That's when you've left your body, 21 grams of soul.
Yes.
That's to do with
I got 21 grams of soul. If you let me know when you need the studio, I got 21 grams of four. It makes a whole difference, kettle of fish for a I don't want to in any way implicate the So Solid crew. But, well, so... Anyway.
Yes, Mr. C is still alive.
Good for him. Despite the abuse.
Despite his best efforts.
So basically, what we're saying is the soul weighs 21 grams.
I'm not saying this.
Well, you should do, because it's a fact.
No.
You've tried to tie it in with a cheap parlour trick.
I'm talking about the relaxation of the muscles.
We're talking about our souls. Me and Callum are talking about our souls, aren't we, Callum?
Yeah.
We're talking about our souls. Not talking about your soul, we're talking about our souls.
The heart and soul, all-knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Callum, I've really enjoyed talking about our souls with you. You've given me a lot to think about. I've got to go because we've got Jimmy Webb coming on, but maybe we'll talk another day.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, mate. You didn't give him the respect he deserved.
I did. None.
That's you're very, you're a very cruel woman. Simon, Richard, Gary and Ewan, you can hang around, or you can, if you can, not, I don't know. We've got Jimmy Webb coming on. I've got no idea how long we've got with him. Could be a brief one. You know, I mean, Loudon Wainwright was a tense old chat. I enjoyed it, but it was tense.
I think Jimmy will let you know when he's done.
Yes, I think he'll just put the phone down. I'm done here, boy. Putting the phone down. So let's see. I'm thrilled, but I'm also a little bit nervous because you just never know with these guys. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK.
Come on, classic.
We'll get you talking.
David's hot or not chicken curry.
On our very first date, my wife Maria said she loved spicy food. That's lucky, I said. I'll have it too.
He's known that...
But the truth is I don't.
He's used the moniker
Never
Mr.
have.
C.
So, whenever I cook her favourite curry, chicken Gujarati with green beans and fresh ginger, I add a spoonful of natural yoghurt in mine, and I keep stum.
Make your own hot or not curry with our tender, succulent British chicken.
This guy's a fucker.
By Tesco.
He lied to his girlfriend, now his wife, about curry. And he puts in a cheeky bit of yoghurt in his bit than I hers. So she's thinking, oh, John loves fucking hot curry. She fucking doesn't know. It really pisses me off, that bloke. I want to speak to her and tell her.
What a formidable pairing. Billy will be tucking into that before he knows it. Lovely stuff.
You need dinner in a flash? We help you pay in record time. Visa, proud sponsors of the Winter Olympics Pyeongchang 2018. Subject to bank T's and C's.
Ford's new fraud scrappage scheme has been extended to include vehicles registered before the 31st of December 2010, and we've even included a new model, the Tough Ford Ranger. You could save between £2,000 and £7,000 on the recommended retail price when you trade in your old vehicle for a new Ford commercial vehicle. New year, new Ford. Ford. Together, we go further.
Retail customers only who trade in a vehicle registered before 31st of December 2010. Scrappage savings between £2,000 and £7,000 dependent on model or to the recommended retail price excluding VAT. Selected models excluded. Contract from 1st of January to 31st of March 2018 and register from 1st of January to the 30th of September 2018. At participating Ford dealers only. T's and C's apply. Visit ford.co.uk/scrappage for more information.
Why let the thought of your tax return peck away at you?
Tax.
Make them stop.
Right,
don't keep ducking it. Do
Yeah,
your
then
tax
come and sit in
return
with
by
me.
31st of January at
Sit in for the web.
gov.uk/self-assessment.
Can you believe it? Jimmy
and
Webb,
don't forget
man.
to pay what you owe.
Dear God,
Are you
please
ready
don't
for
let me fuck
this?
one up.
Or a bit of this? And obviously this.
Mum, please can I have another ice cream?
If you've been nodding along, then it's time you joined the millions of others with the Sun Halls from £9.50. Hall yeah! Pick up the Sun and start collecting today. T's and C's apply.
Top trade picks at TradePoint to kickstart 2018. Gonna do what? Contract
I love
for
Jimmy
just
Webb, man.
£30. Excludes
Love him.
VAT at 20%. Trade only.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
With the latest, I'm Carl Hartley. Brexit legislation, which replaces European laws with British ones, has been approved by MPs. The EU withdrawal bill passed the House of Commons with a majority of 29 after more than 80 hours of debate. It'll face scrutiny in the House of Lords by the end of the month. Earlier, Nigel Farage told the European Parliament that some politicians are trying to sabotage the process.
I don't want a second referendum on Brexit. Absolutely not. but I fear that you are all working together with Tony Blair and Nick Clegg to make sure we get the worst possible deal.
Next, and bosses at collapsed construction firm Carillion have had their bonus payments halted. The insolvency service says they stopped when the major public service provider plunged into liquidation on Monday with debts of more than £1 billion. The government's being accused of ignoring the company's previous profit warnings and continuing
Jimmy
to
Webb's
give it
on the
contracts. Labour MP Annalise Dodds says ministers appear to have ignored their own guidance.
If you have a profit warning, that
Jimmy
company's
Webb's
deemed
on the
as high
line,
risk,
guys.
and you shouldn't be giving them additional contracts. That's in government guidance, and they set it aside. And Theresa May did not tell us today why.
Now, police are advising drivers to avoid travelling tonight in southern and central Scotland.
Jimmy Webb, he's a proper old-fashioned gentleman.
A number of amber alerts have been issued by the Met Office after heavy snowfall last night. Tesco's decided to delay changes to its club card rewards scheme until June after customer feedback. The retailers to offer 3 times the value of its vouchers with partners when some had previously offered 4. And a man found guilty of stealing mail bags more than 40 years ago has had his name cleared. 62-year-old businessman Stephen Simmons from Dorking in Surrey was sent to Borstalls in the 1970s, despite always protesting his innocence. He managed to get his conviction overturned after Googling the name of his arresting officer and finding out that he'd committed a similar crime. Windy with some heavy rain across the south, heavy snow in Northern Ireland, Northern England and southern Scotland, with temperatures dropping down to -3.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
And alive, right? Listen, everyone knows that song. If you don't know that song, you shouldn't even be listening to this show because I haven't educated you properly. But that version, I saw that when I was on Australia and I watched the Country Music Awards. And it's this group I'd never heard of who are now one of my favourite groups, and I'm devouring all of their albums, Little Big Town. And it was played as a tribute to Glenn Campbell, and it was written by, of course, and the guy playing the piano then, he's on the phone now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jimmy Bloody Webb. Hey, man, how are you doing?
Hey, Ian, thank you. Thanks for playing that. Yeah, I just have to say, that I was so overwhelmed by Little Big Town. I wasn't familiar with them, but they are just a powerhouse. I mean, they are just amazing vocally. I couldn't believe how much talent was there.
I'd never heard of them before, Jimmy, and then when I saw that they were doing that, I thought, oh, good luck. Good luck with that, guys. If you're doing it as a tribute to Glenn, you've got to pull up something special out of the hat. And man alive, the noise those 4 voices make together, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it's kind of almost unearthly. There's something a little bit superhuman going on there. The blend is so good. And the first thing I asked them was, "Are you guys brothers and sisters?"
Yeah, that's what I thought, because that's the kind of sound that you get. This is. I read a theory about this, and it makes sense why the Beach Boys sound so good, because they're all related. They're all brothers and cousins, and there's something in the DNA that the voices just kind of fill in the gaps.
Well, they're not. They met in college, and apparently they sang for the first time together in one of the girls' living rooms at home, and look, that's what I like to see. I like to see, young people coming up with just loads of talent, and I like to hear them doing Jimmy Webb songs.
I bet your bank balance likes them doing Jimmy Webb songs as well. Now, listen, you have worked with, you talk about the vocal blend, and you've worked with some of the best singers in the world, and let's be honest, some of the singers that perhaps needed more coaching than others. But you of course, famously worked with The Fifth Dimension, who me and Kath here, we're huge fans of The Fifth Dimension. What were those guys like to work with?
We were all kids together.
Yeah.
We're all about, the same age. I remember that Marilyn McCoo, who eventually married Billy Davis, their voices stand out to me as without being pejorative, as clearly the strongest in the group.
Mm.
And I tended to sort of settle on them for when I wanted leads. But the group was a very democratic affair. I was to find out that, in working with them, that they really wanted to share the burden of singing, and so that's what we ended up doing. I think that their sound was quite powerful and unique. There was nothing like it at the time, and God knows. I mean, they went out and had hits with all kinds of other writers. I mean, Laura Nyro and Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice. I mean, they showed that they could transcend my gifts and create a tremendous career for themselves. And I have to just add as an asterisk, you couldn't meet a nicer bunch of kids in the world. I remember when Marilyn McCoo quit her day job at the May Company, which is a department store in Los Angeles. And we were all so happy that day because that kind of meant that we were going somewhere.
We should say, you're coming over here. You're only doing one show, I think, February the 1st at the Roundhouse in London, which is an amazing, amazing venue. And also, I've got to recommend your autobiography, Jimmy, The Cake and the Rain, because I had it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well,
thank you.
Also, it's not the book I expected. I've got a big pile of books, right, that I've got to catch up on. And your book, I'll be honest, was there for a while. And I was going away, and I thought, I'll take this with me. It was not the book I expected at all. I'm gonna say something, and I hope you'll take it in the way it's meant. You were nuts, man. You were as a young man, and you talk about it. You talk about the drugs. You talk about the insanity. You talk about the money. But I get the impression that you, as a young man, with all of this success coming from the songwriting, that you went crazy, didn't you?
Well, I was a Baptist minister's son, and until my mother died when I was 16 in 1964. That's the year I graduated high school.
Mm.
I don't know what the English equivalent of high school is exactly, but it's secondary school.
Yeah, so you were like 16, 17.
Yeah, I was 16 when she died, and I had been in very tight harness for many, many, many years. We, all of us kids, I had 4 siblings, we all lived in a goldfish bowl. We were all observed 24 hours a day, our behavior, every single move we made. Money was tight, and so we were just, a little bit, I would say, naive in many, many ways. I will cop to that. And all of a sudden, I'm on my own. I'm 17 years old. I have a little bit of luck. And by the time I'm 19 years old, there's money rolling in that I had never conceived of. I didn't even know people made that much money. And all of a sudden, there were no rules.
Mm.
There were basically no rules, and I sort of experienced that phenomenon that is very prevalent in show business, where a person of notoriety will become surrounded by a bubble of secondaries, of people who facilitate and really enable. And we just see that over and over and over. I talk about Elvis in the book. Elvis is a perfect example of somebody who was surrounded by a kind of bubble of human consciousness
Yeah.
I think that our president, President Trump is surrounded by a kind of artificial world that's created by other people. So anyway, you get into this frame of mind that you can do no wrong and that you're going to have the time of your life and damn the torpedoes kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you meet up with a couple of, similarly oriented cohorts like, Harry Nielsen and Derek Taylor, and that's all you need to, sort of, I think it was Danny Hutton who said that Harry Nielsen was a ride.
Yeah.
And he was referencing a ride in an amusement park.
Yeah.
And So yeah, I mean, at first I wasn't into drugs, but I once cocaine came, into the picture, I think it was so pervasive. I talk about how it sort of infected almost everybody, and from the guys in the trenches right up to the guys at the top of these big companies, everybody was snorting this cocaine. So yeah, and I went through it, and I came to my senses the hard way because I overdosed not on any kind of drug that I intended to take, but on something that was basically very dangerous called PCP.
This is the thing at the end of the book when you and Harry Nilsson kind of go for
I
it.
took it by mistake.
Yeah.
We both took it by mistake, and it just about offed us both.
And you couldn't remember how to play.
Very difficult moment. I'm not going to go into all the details because I think that we have other things to talk about.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, it's a sort of a familiar story.
Is there going to be a second volume of the book? Because it's so delicious, and honestly, it's a joy to read, and I'm passing my copy around to everyone I know. Is there going to be a second volume of it?
Well, I definitely have that volume in me, and I think that the story that comes out of that book, which ends rather abruptly.
Yeah.
It ends before I was married, quite young. I had 6 children, and there were a lot of hit records to come, and a lot of personalities that I really didn't get to explore in that book because they confined me in their wisdom. My publishers confined me to 125,000 words. I had written 300,000 words.
Oh man!
So much of it ended up on the cutting room floor that I sort of have an itch to go back to the well and say, but just a minute. There's just one more thing I want to say.
I tell you, the thing I get from the book, there's kind of like the theme that runs through it is obviously you were a huge songwriter, and you were having these huge hits, Up and Away, and all of these MacArthur Park, these big hits for other people. But there's that theme of you wanting to be taken seriously as a performer. You wanted to be not just the songwriter, you wanted to be a singer-songwriter. And do you ever get how are you with that now, looking back on your career? And of course you've released loads of albums and, lots of wonderful albums, but do you ever feel frustrated that it is people, it's Glenn Campbell, it's other people that got the credit for singing your songs and you didn't get recognised perhaps as the performer that you wanted to be?
Well, I think of it as now it's very clear to me that I've spent my whole life pounding my head on a gigantic, Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
So, that's a little bit frustrating because I'm working on my next solo album. I don't expect many sales, but I'm working on my next solo album. There's some frustration, but there's not any real pain. I got to make the records that I wanted to make, and the critics were always very, very kind to me and encouraging. And my peers would always show up and sing on my records, and it was always like, Jimmy's making a record, let's all go over, and from Graham Nash to David Crosby to Harry to whoever, everybody would be there in the studio trying to help me do this. I think that I was judged fairly harshly when I first came on the scene because for the very reason that I worked with such great singers, Glenn Campbell was a singer that comes along like once every 100 years.
Yeah.
Linda Ronstadt, I could say the same thing about her. And then there were pure magical legends like Mr. Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, B.J. Thomas was no slouch. I mean, everybody that recorded me was a great singer.
Yeah.
And so here I'm Artie Garfunkel, you know. I mean, he had a number 3 record in the United States.
His voice isn't that bad, is it, Art Garfunkel? He can knock out a tune or two.
Like a choir boy.
Yeah, I know.
And especially at that time, he sang absolutely. I mean, he was a pure tenor.
Here's the thing. Let me say to the people listening at home. If you've not got a Jimmy Webb album, if you go on Amazon now, you can buy there's a box set of the first 5 Jimmy Webb albums. It's a tenner. It's a tenner. And they are all a treat. It's worth it just for The Moon's a Harsh Mistress, the album produced by George Martin. Oh, God. I mean, I wanted to dive into the album first, but I listened to them in order because I'm a bit anal like that. But when you get the George Martin album, the strings, the arrangements, oh, God, that must have been a thrill working with him.
Well, you know, this is a guy who, I don't know. I was probably anticipating for a decade that there might be a moment when I would just get an opportunity to shake his hand and say, you know, I just want to thank you for, you know, for lighting the way.
Yeah.
Really, because he did so much to bring orchestration and diversity in terms of ethnicity and all kinds of new novel ideas about arranging into the rock and roll sphere, and made, in my opinion, so much of what the Beatles wanted to accomplish, made it possible for them. I just think none of it would have happened without him, and I don't take anything away from the lads. I'm just saying George was really, they were lucky. They were lucky to meet him.
Oh, weren't they? I mean, he added that. He, you know, they would go up to him and say, I want, you know, John Lennon would go in one day and say, I want the sound of 1,000 monks chanting. And George Martin would kind of come up with it, you know. Brilliant.
George and the lovely, gifted, Geoff Emerick. You know, I mean, I think they were saddled many times with doing the impossible, and they just consistently sort of delivered the impossible. I don't know how they did that. But to walk into the studio with George and say, you know, he's all mine. And I get to make this record with him was just, it was like, for me, you know, everything has been anticlimactic.
Yeah. The album was called...
such a great time together. We were model airplane builders, and we would spend some of the downtime in the studio, like holding up model airplanes and having contests, and he would always win. Because all of his stuff was always so immaculately, perfectly engineered. And as a man, as a gentleman, as a mentor, as a father figure, when I was doing El Mirage with him...
That's the name of the album, El Mirage. Sorry, I got the title wrong. El Mirage is the album,
I was still doing, you know, I was supposed to be straight, but I was still sort of nipping out and getting a little bit of coke every once in a while. Every time I did it, I'd feel guilty because I thought, I'm not giving it my best. That's not, you know, if I could go back and redo something, I would go back and clean myself up for that album.
Yeah.
Because I really think that he deserved more from me. As it was, I think the album, you know, stands up pretty well. But, I mean...
It's beautiful.
So many albums in those days were fueled with alcohol and other, you know, other exotic substances. But nothing would ever diminish the experience.
The thing about cocaine is, right, and I speak with a little bit of experience of you know, the drug use and you know, recovery, but it is such an uncreative drug. It has no positive creative side effect to it.
Yeah, it's just so angry. But it will keep you up You know, it will keep you up all night, and the whole culture of the studio, I mean, just to digress a minute, you know, the whole culture of the studio in those days was just to live in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, you lived in there, and you wrote in there, and you argued, and you whatever you did, you sort of did in there. And of course, we don't have budgets like that anymore.
Jimmy, you mentioned the new album. How do you do an album now? Because you're right, the days of, you know, right, you've got $5 million, you can get the best session musicians, you can go and record it, you know, on an island in the Caribbean. Those days are gone. So how do you do it now?
Which, by the way, none of that ever helped the records at all.
No, of course not.
My last two records I made down in Nashville, and they were very, very good records. One of them was called Just Across the River, and one was called Still Within the Sound of My Voice. And they're as good as anything I ever did in my life. And we went down there, we cut the tracks in 2 days, and we put about a month on post-production. And we brought, I'm talking about Fred Mullen, who's really, you know, an ace from Nashville, and they don't waste any time down there. And so, I mean, we would crank out 3 or 4 tracks a day.
Wow. And
wasted no time, and I think brought both albums in for around $40,000.
Wow. Incredible.
So, you know, I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of artists have sort of resigned themselves, whatever their status may have been or is. You know, there's a large percentage of the artists out there who want to make records who are really being thrown back on their own resources, and they just have to figure out how to make the records themselves. If I want to use strings, I'm probably going to have to pay for them, and you know, it depends on what I'm able to negotiate with the record company up front. But certainly, I mean, they don't spend like they used to.
Yeah. The show, February the 1st at the Roundhouse, it's such a lovely venue. I've seen so many great shows there, and me and Kath are hoping to pop along for the beginning of the show. We'll have to nip out early because we've got to come back and do this nonsense.
Well, I'm honoured to be there. I know that it means a great deal to be asked to even be invited to play there.
It's a great venue.
And from what I can gather online and what I'm seeing in the pictures and such, is that it's a stunning venue.
Yeah. What can we expect?
I'm ready for them. You know, I'm always ready for the Brits.
Well, they love you. What is it? Is it just you and the piano? Is there a band? What's the deal?
It's just me. It's just me and the piano and my wit.
Yeah, these amazing songs, man. Listen, I could talk to you
and my voice, which is a hell of a lot better than it used to be.
Good. Well, your voice is always good. Listen, I could talk to you all night, Jimmy. I'm going to let you go, but I can't let you go without. We've got to talk about Glenn Campbell. I'm a huge Glenn Campbell fan. I saw him live. Right. I saw him live 4 or 5 times. I was kind of teased at school in the 80s because, you know, they were into whatever the 80s bands were. And I was banging on about the Monkees and Glenn Campbell. And I was lucky enough to interview him a couple of times. Just, you know, an amazing voice. Also, an amazing, amazing guitarist. What that man could do with a guitar in his sleep, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
Well, he was known, I suppose, in a bit off the cuff fashion. He was very well known to people like Paul McCartney and Eric Clapton, Mark Knopfler, young Keith Urban in Australia came up, and really, you know, you have guys out there like Vince Gill and people who knew who the guitar players were, and Glenn was rated very, very close to the top, always.
It was, you know, I kind of cried when he died. I shed a little tear. There was also kind of, you know, a slight relief because I know the last few years weren't particularly kind to him and his family.
Last year was very, very tough.
Was it? Yeah, I can imagine.
I think that there was, to put it as not as kindly, with as much compassion as I can, that there was a kind of sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that should be a shocking remark. I mean, for anyone out there who's dealt with Alzheimer's on a close-up, personal basis, I mean, this is a rough road for the family and the caregivers in a situation like this. It gets worse and worse, and it wasn't getting any better for Glenn.
Mm.
And I hated most seeing my friend and my colleague and someone who's left a tremendous abyss in my life on his departure. But I hated to see him going through the experience that he was going.
Oh, it's such a big. The thing that struck me when I met him was how big he is. He's really tall, and the most amazing eyes. His really clear blue eyes. It was delightful. Jimmy, listen.
I think in retrospect, we've learned to appreciate him a great deal.
Oh
more
God,
than we did.
Yeah, no, totally, and the outpouring of love after he passed was amazing. I always think we should.
It was amazing.
I always think, though, we should show love to these people before they die, and we should.
Yes, sir.
We should
I
just
agree with you.
shake their hand and say thank you so much for all the work you've put in. Jimmy, listen. February the 1st, the Roundhouse in London. I'm going to tweet the links. I'm going to let you go, Jimmy. I tell you what, though, we're going to play an ad break. When we come back, pick any song of yours, whether a version that you've done or a version that someone else has done, and we will play it at some point this evening. What would you like us to play from your vast back catalogue?
I don't know. Why don't you play All I Know by Artie Garfunkel?
Beautiful. We'll do it, Jimmy. Hey, listen, man, thank you so much. Safe travels, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, man.
God bless, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you, Les. Jimmy Webb, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing up, I'm mopping my brow, because that is, that man has been so important in my musical soundtrack. Fantastic. Honestly, those first 5 albums, a tenner on Amazon. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with those. And he's playing at the Roundhouse on the 1st of February. If you can go, but for goodness sakes, fight to get a ticket. And also, while we're selling, get his book, The Cake and the Rain. Honestly, it is unlike any rock autobiography you have ever read. The phone lines are open. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Dial up some dialogue.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
With the Volvo V40, you can have a perfect journey every time. Take the quickest route with navigation and real-time traffic information. Create your ideal soundtrack with internet radio. Stay stress-free with cruise control. And park effortlessly with rear park assist. With monthly rentals of £199, the Volvo V40 T2R Design Nav Plus has everything you need to make your journey perfect.
2-year personal contract hire.
No, he took the phone down, so I phoned him back and just ringing out.
Offer ends March 31st.
Fucking hell.
Amazing.
Wasn't that amazing? I tell you what, that clip you want is when I asked him about Glenn Campbell and him talking about Glenn Campbell and it being
Landlords, Direct Line guarantees to meet other insurers' premiums for the same cover. Can your insurance do that? Switch to Direct Line Landlord. New customers only qualifying criteria apply. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Where do you charge an electric
How quickly can they do it?
How far can you go on
him kind of saying that, it was a blessing that he died, and that shouldn't be a shock.
You get an electric shock off if I plug it on mobile phone or the car's battery run out.
Can they go in car washes?
Got questions about owning an electric car? Get the answers at goultralow.com.
With Pertemps Recruitment,
oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful.
It can take you to places you've always wanted to be, and it's around every corner. So if you're looking for your next permanent, temporary or contract opportunity, hop into one of our 200 local offices or search Pertemps online. Pertemps, the face of recruitment.
Top trade picks at TradePoint to kickstart 2018. Gonna do what? Contractor chest for just £30. Excludes VAT at 20%. Trade only.
Oh, I forgot to ask him about John Lennon putting dollar bills up a hooker's vagina.
I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on. Yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want since you've been sold.
eBay. Snap it, list it, sell it. The easy way to make room for the new you. Download the app and start selling now. eBay. Fill your cart with colour. All the Money in the World from director Ridley Scott is now BAFTA nominated for supporting actor Christopher Plummer. Critics are calling it terrific and thrilling.
Mr. Getty, how much would you pay to release your grandson?
Nothing. Plummer is simply fantastic and compellingly brilliant. All the Money in the World at cinemas now, rated 15.
Neon lit night talk for torch sitters, trolley dollies, and train wrecks like me.
Never know just where the conversation will take you.
What I'm going to say sounds ridiculous.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Oh, man alive. We'll play that Art Garfunkel song after midnight. That was great, wasn't it? That was Jimmy Webb, Kath. We just had Jimmy Webb on the line. 03444991000. I mean, people are tweeting me about this Nintendo Labo.
Yeah, I tweeted it because I thought you'd like that.
It's a thing for the Switch, but you can make things out of it.
Yeah, like robots and stuff.
Flippin' heck. I am into the Nintendo Labo. That is happening, baby. That is happening. I always feel a little bit like I want to go home after an interview like that, because we're not going to top that. I mean, absolutely superb. Just a wonderful human being and a great artist, and I love him. Russell Mail from Sparks was supposed to be on last night, and because I was off sick, he isn't. The news that's unbongoed is that Sparks are doing 3 concerts in the United Kingdom in May. And Russell will hopefully be on later this week, if not this week, next week. Next week, we've got They Might Be Giants coming on. And hopefully next week, but maybe the week after, we've got Joel Dommett coming on as well, which will be wonderful, because I'm going to cultivate him as a friend.
Please do.
I'm going to cultivate him as a friend.
He was really nice about you.
Yes, I know, and I met him a couple of times briefly in Australia, and he was very nice, and I gave him my phone number. Then I heard nothing. I thought, pa. And then he messaged me, I forgot, a couple of days ago, saying, do you want to go out for some food one day? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to. And then we'll get him on the show anyway. So that will be nice. That's it for guests, I think, isn't it?
So far,
so good.
Because we did say we were going to rein back on the guests.
Yes, but we're doing. We're going back to the old school thing of getting people that we really, really like,
exactly.
which is always the intention.
And the ones we've got are absolute corkers.
Yeah, oh man. I'm on Loose Women again tomorrow, but I'm doing silliness. I have to dress up as though I'm on the beach.
Well, you did the slide, so there's a precedent there.
They wanted me to take in a Hawaiian shirt and colourful shorts. I said, well, I don't have those things.
Should have said my dad's got, like, loads of
really?
Hawaiian shirts.
Well, they're going to supply me with a Hawaiian shirt, and I'm going to supply my shorts. I'm giving away a holiday to the Mauritius Islands. To Mauritius. Do I say the Mauritius or Mauritius? Mauritius. The Maldives, Mauritius.
Can you fiddle it so I win it?
No, I can't do that. I'm fiddling it so that I win it. So I'm doing that, and that'll be fun. But can I just say, for everyone going, oh, Iain Lee's turning his back on radio and doing it. No. I've said this, and I mean this most sincerely, having just signed a new 2-year contract here. This is my bread and butter. The TV work is gravy, but my bread and butter, upon which that gravy is poured, is the radio. This is my job, and everything else is lovely. And I've got loads of stuff coming up. I've got Loose Women. I'm filming some stuff for Good Morning Britain. I'm doing the One Show. I'm going to be on a Radio 4 panel show. All of this is happening in the next 3 weeks.
But other than that, it's really drying up.
Other than that, it's drying up. I'm meeting with some people about a documentary about going to Pakistan. All kinds of stuff, man. But this is my job, and I've got a day off on February the 8th, I think, and I'm thinking of taking a week off in March because I'm knackered. And but yeah, this is the job. This is it, and I'm thrilled. We might. Well, let me talk about that later. Let's go to these calls. Ewan's back. Good evening, Ewan.
Good evening.
Ewan, we lost you. What happened?
My signal.
Oh, Ewan. Oh, Ewan. Whose army? Huh? Ewan, you wanted to talk about I believe it was about the political situation in America. Was that right?
No, about my trip tomorrow.
Your trip to Norway?
No, canoeing. Going canoeing tomorrow.
Oh, canoeing.
Weekend.
Oh, flipping it. Do you know what? Here's the thing. I've been canoeing twice. I hated it. I'll tell you why I hated it, right? Because I don't like being wet. I don't like wearing, that material that cagoules are made of. What is that material?
Waterproof.
Yeah.
Gore-Tex.
I don't think it was Gore-Tex in the 80s. And I also don't like being in wet, cold rivers. And all rivers, anywhere in the world, are wet and they are cold. And it's going to be extremely cold in a Welsh river tomorrow, Ewan. What are you thinking?
Well, it's not me, it's the people that I'm going with dragged me into it. Oh. Just before Christmas, we went cave walking, and there's an old railway track underneath a tunnel.
Yeah.
And it's like the entrance to go into it and out of it is like a river now, so practically just before Christmas, I had to walk through a river, so got so small, be like 10.
Hang on. Did you say, because it's not the greatest of lines or mouths, are you saying that the old train line has now become a river?
Yes. It was, the train track was there years and years ago back in World War II, but now you can walk, there's a famous walkway and there's like a river, and we walked around with the college just before Christmas, and it was freezing.
Yeah, well, and now you're going to go in the water tomorrow, you muppet. What are you thinking?
I know, I've been drived into it, I don't want to do it, but
don't do it!
They say colder the better.
What? Who says that?
I tell you who says that? Perverts.
Masochists.
Deviants.
Weirdos.
Yeah.
Offenders.
Yeah. I don't want to do it. I might they said just go and see if you want to do it.
Don't do it! I'm telling you, how old are you, Ewan?
17.
17, right. Listen, it's your body, stranger danger, no touching below the pants. You are in control of your body and your life. Don't do it, because you will hate it.
I'll just sit on the side and watch them.
I wouldn't even do that.
Go, they'll coax you.
Yeah.
Feign illness.
Yeah, well, I don't think I can afford to miss time off, as I've had a lot of time off lately.
Well, hang on, so you're saying this is a compulsory lesson as part of your college?
Well, no, not really. We're doing fitness, and we've got to do fitness stuff. But going canoeing is not really a thing. I think you just want to mix it up a bit, to have a bit, so we go out more instead of doing the paperweight aside.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It really does sound absolutely awful, and if I were you, I would feign sickness.
I think your human rights are being infringed.
Yeah, like I said, with the river thing just before Christmas, that was a part of it. And we've been geocaching as well, which I don't find interesting. So, for the listeners, I'll tell you what geocaching is.
Yeah,
is when you have an app on your device, and you set your postcode where you are, and they'll send you a map where you go to these different places around your hometown, and you find this magnet, I think, with a piece of paper inside, and you write your name and the date you was there.
Yeah.
And then you go and find the next one.
Oh, so it's like treasure hunting for numpties?
Well, it's like Pokemon Go without the fun.
Yeah, really, basically.
I'm just watching the video. I'm just watching the video for this Nintendo Labo.
It looks awesome, doesn't it?
Flipping it, it looks incredible.
Well, yeah, you still do have the phone, like the Pokemon Go, it's just you're not actually using it. You have to use, for the geocaching, you have to use your phone to map around to find it.
Yeah.
And then obviously...
But this is the thing where you find it, and then but all it is like a box saying, and you open it and it says, you found it.
You put your name in it.
And then you put your name in it, isn't it?
Yeah, because and they put them in silly places, like dangerous places, because we... Actually, opposite the college, there is a railway station.
Yes.
Linked to Cardiff Central, which is quite popular. Oh. And it is literally, you've got the train, you've got a fence, and then the train, thing, but yeah, you've got a map just off.
Yes, what?
I think it's quite dangerous having it right by the railway station, which is in use.
Isn't it? Well, stranger danger.
Yeah.
I love that phrase, stranger danger. Imagine being the person who came up with the phrase stranger danger. I bet it was a pervert, actually, who came up with it.
My mum bought me a record about Say No to Strangers. There was a song.
Shut up.
There was a song.
Well, hang on a minute.
Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. And it had, like, a recorder solo in it.
You are kidding me?
I find as well, I make a joke. If I'm rowing with people and they're arguing and they keep texting me and I don't want them to text me, I'm like, can you stop texting me, please? Who are you? I don't even know you. I just pretend I don't know the person. I clearly do.
I see what you do.
I say, I don't even know you. Can you stop texting me, please?
Hang on a minute. Is this the Say No to Strangers song? Hang on. That's the bloke from, that's Duncan from Victoria Woods.
Yes.
He's not a stranger. I'd get in his car.
Okay.
That's not a song.
We'll find the... Oh, hang on, is this it? Hang on a minute. Hang on, this might be it. Hang on. Say that. No, we'll find the Say No to Strangers song in a minute. You just remember Say No to Strangers. Thanks very much indeed. Well, I'm glad we sorted that young man out. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
If you're looking for an excellent exchange rate in sterling, or want to bag a big money bargaining deal, or score a super sale saving in Poundbury, don't miss Julia's Deal of the Day every morning from 6:30 on Julia Hartley Brewer at Breakfast with Sun Savers. Get insider hints on the nation's hottest high street scoops, top money saving tips, and insider consumer news and advice from the Sun's Tara Evans.
Music by John Childs.
You can't afford to miss Julia's Deal of the Day. Weekday mornings from 6:30 on Talk Radio with Sun Savers. Welcome to the good stuff.
How does NCS make me feel?
When I see Mum and Dad's faces as I tell them I'm cooking tonight, it's like, yes!
When I perform CPR and save that man's life, who cares if he's plastic? It's like, oh yeah.
When I realise I'm not scared of heights, I love them. It's like, woohoo!
In a word, NCS makes me feel unstoppable.
There we go,
Search NCS to find out more.
The new Screwfix catalogue is out now, packed with over 15,000 tools and accessories. And there are over 1,000 prices dropped on some of our top products in store and online. So pick up your free copy of the new Screwfix catalogue in one of our 550 stores today. Screwfix, here when you need us.
Before you get car finance, check with us. If you want to save some money, check with us. Car Finance 24/7. Car Finance 24/7. Car Finance 24/7. Check with us.
Apply now at carfinance247.co.uk for rates from 7% APR. We're a broker regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Representative 27.4% APR. All circumstances considered.
Car Finance 24/7. Car Finance 24/7. Get your finance first and then you're good to go.
Yes, you can. More specifically, you can in Jan. More specifically, you can get a car in Jan. More specifically, cars in the Fiat 500 range are yours from just £139 per month plus initial rental of £973. That's the lovely little Fiat 500, the spacious Fiat 500L, or the go-anywhere Fiat 500X. Offers end soon. More specifically, don't hang about. Personal contract hire offer available on the Fiat 500 range until the 31st of March 2018. Initial rental and monthly payments will vary depending on version. 48-month term and 6,000 miles PA, subject to status, leases.
Hurry, special introductory savings on selected sofas end Monday at DFS. Better be quick.
Oh, poor wee darling, you've got a cold. Here's a good trick worth its weight in gold. One set of pills to help the day through. A helping hand to stop you being blue. Again at bedtime,
hello, Periscopers. How are you?
Lemsip can help
finding this new angle.
Lemsip Max Day and Night Cold and Flu Relief helps you get a restful sleep. Contains paracetamol.
I can't see your names.
You've watched the Cold TV show, you've seen the controversial opera, you've read the best-selling book, and you've drunk the intoxicating aftershave. Now, check out the Jerry Springer Radio Show, right here only on Talk Radio. Join me, Jerry Springer, live on tape from a coffee shop in Kentucky, and enjoy the very best after-hours conversation, recreation, and just a little caffeination. It's Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery on the Jerry Springer Radio Show, this Saturday from midnight, only Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
on the edge.
And stripper grands.
It depends who you're with and it depends on the situation.
Late night speech radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Tell to keep you safe and keep you well. A stranger's someone you don't know. Away with them you never go.
Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. Say no to strangers. Don't ever with them.
I would suggest the way they go no, 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 no is quite coquettish, isn't it? I just think that's...
Walking home or going to school, never go with strangers is the golden rule. Just be safe, stay as you are. Don't take sweets or a ride in a car.
Classic.
Here's the problem with kids' choirs is you can't really understand the words.
The diction.
You can't... Well, this is what they're telling them not to get involved with. You can't really understand the words. This is the song, the Stranger Danger song. No, no, no. Say no, 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 from 1983. Hang on, see what advice this copper. This is a real copper, by the way.
They've got to mention puppies, haven't they?
Now then, boys and girls, I want to look after you all and keep you safe.
Get stuff, pervert!
Know that what we're saying, that will make us all happy, won't it, eh?
How do we know he's a copper? How do we... You can buy those police uniforms.
He's got a whistle.
Well, that's true, actually. You can't get those whistles just about anywhere. Can't understand what they're saying.
Short or tall, thin or fat.
Okay, well... Oh, we stopped it, which is in some ways a blessing, but...
If to play outside you go, make sure your mother or father knows...
Hang on. If to play outside you go. Why is he speaking in oldie-worldy English? Was he Shakespeare or something? If to play outside you go, make sure your mother and father know. Get stuffed, you old nonce.
PC Yoda.
Yay. Yes, exactly, yeah.
Play on your own, especially in the park, and get back home before it's dark.
Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. Say no to strangers. Don't ever with them go. Short or tall, thin or fat, young or old with a big fat hat. Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no.
Now, then we're going to get the B-side. Do you know what the B-side is?
Not say yes to strangers.
It's the instrumental version.
Oh, yeah, I do know that.
It's the instrumental version,
Because it had the
guys.
words with it, so you could sing along. Early karaoke.
Here we go. Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. Say no to strangers. Don't tell them where to go. Fat or thin, young or old, black or white, yellow or dark. Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. Here's the thing, I'm a copper, and I speak like Yoda, I do. Don't get in a car with a pervert, otherwise they might do something awful to you. Say no to strangers, say no, no. Well, the thing is, as we're learning with this bizarre and horrific story in California, it ain't strangers. It shouldn't be stranger danger, it should be family bamily. Doesn't quite work. That family in America, I mean, gosh, I hate to say it, it's going to make an incredible film.
Wow.
As they often do. But I am fascinated by abduction cases, as you know. Fritzl, Natasha Kampusch is my favourite. What if we get Natasha Kampusch on the show? Probably not now, I've just said that it's my favourite story. But, in fact, let's see if we can get Natasha Kampusch on. For those who don't know, she was kidnapped, I think, I can't. It's a long time since I read the book. I think she was kidnapped at 14. She was held for 10 years by this guy, and she escaped. And she then bought the house.
Did he leave it to her? He left it to her.
Maybe she lives there. She lives in the house.
Because when she ran away, he killed himself, didn't he?
I can't quite remember the details, but apparently the Fritzl woman wanted to move back into the house. There's something they are drawn. The captors are drawn to the houses, and this story in just south of San Francisco. It's 59 miles southeast of San Francisco. I happen to know. It's fascinating, and the pictures of
13 children.
Yeah, between the ages of 2 and 29.
And this is the thing I think that is the fascinating part. These things happened in built-up areas.
Yeah.
The neighbours didn't suspect a thing.
Yeah, very strange.
Awful.
Yeah. Good evening, Kadir.
Hi, Ian. How are you? Oh, blimey, I was just drinking some water.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you when you finish. Good evening, Anna.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Anna.
Good to hear that you're feeling better tonight.
Well, I'm feeling a little bit. I'm a little bit lightheaded, but I'm not. I've not got liquid coming out of my mouth or my anus.
Gosh.
So.
Well, that's always good.
That's a win. That's a win for me, Anna.
Can I just check? Is the Say No to Strangers song still playing, or have I gone mental?
It's no. We stopped it about 4 minutes ago.
Right. Well, I'll deal with that later. That's fine.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you've heard about this guy that's created his own edit of the new Star Wars film.
Oh no, I hadn't. Is it? How has he somehow managed to make that boring film good?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
So, what he's done is he's edited it and taken out all the women.
Because wait a minute, there's loads of women in it.
Yeah, it's about 46 minutes long. So
why has he done that?
Well, he's a men's rights activist.
Oh, jeez.
And the description of the video, which is uploaded to torrenting sites, is it's Star Wars without all that feminazi stuff.
Oh God.
So it's kind of been doing the rounds on some of the internet news sites, and people are kind of rightfully taking the piss out of it.
Men's right activist releases. I've got it here on IndieWire, the first news thing that came out. Releases Star Wars: The Last Jedi edit that removes all women, but it's only 46 minutes long. The men-only version has been uploaded to torrent sites like Pirate Bay and what have you. Did you want to watch Star Wars: The Last Jedi without Daisy Ridley, Carrie Fisher, Laura Dern and Kelly Marie Tran? Of course not, because they're all integral to what makes the film one of the most critical acclaimed entries in the franchise. Well, that's a lie. It's a boring movie. But it's not the women's fault. Fortunately, one anonymous men's right activist has taken it upon himself to release a new version of The Last Jedi that removes all women and only features scenes.
What does his wife think of that? I mean, what does his ex-wife think of that?
I don't think that's going to get him access to his kids. I'd imagine if that's why he's doing it. That's the very reason that the mother is rightfully not allowing him access to his kids. I don't know.
Well, it kept him busy for a bit.
Yes.
That's always a bonus.
It's a hobby. Have you seen it, Anna?
Oh, God, no. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I mean, I've watched the actual film, and I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I kind of got dragged there. So.
Yeah, that was a bad film. It was a bad film, Anna. It was dull. It's a pre-recorded news, isn't it, Sam? All right, we can go a little bit over. It's a dull movie, I tell you. And, the women are... the women... Because I like Rey. I think Rey's a great character. Great character. What a brilliant character in a movie. And the men are a bit... Luke is rubbish in this one.
But he started out rubbish, didn't he?
Also, I don't think that Kylo Ren. I don't think he's a particularly good baddie. And maybe this is just because I'm old now, but he looks like the kind of kid that would hang outside Spar asking me to buy fags for him.
You know who he reminds me of? Do you remember young Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
I reckon I could have him.
Yeah, I don't think Kylo Ren... Darth Vader, flip it.
Yeah, don't mess with that.
Oh, yeah, what the heck? Get out.
What is he?
Yeah, exactly. Kylo Ren is just a stroppy teenager with daddy issues.
What's a slap?
That's all it is. Well, thank you for that, Anna. That's certainly given me something not to watch.
No problem. I'm glad to help.
Nice one, Anna. Thank you very much. Kadir, stay there. We'll come to you after the news. 0344 499 1000. We've only got one call lined up. We've got 1 hour left of the show. If you want to take part, now is an excellent time to call. I am Iain Lee. She is Catherine Boyle. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
What an hour of radio!
And entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Please, Kath.
What seems to be the problem? It's my career. It's broken down. Well, let's take a look. Work-life balance? How's that running? It's not. Okay, so you're the boss or the employee? The slave.
For 34
Know what?
years.
You need something new, mate.
Become
a red driving instructor and change direction.
Wow!
With comprehensive training, job satisfaction, and working your
No,
own hours.
no.
You're red. Get your career
No.
in gear. Go to reddrivingschool.com for details. Go
Say
red
no
and
to
get
Catherine,
ahead.
she knew I was going there. Say no to Catherine, she's obsessed with pubic hair.
We've even included a new model, the Tough Ford Ranger. You can save between £2,000 and £4,950 on the recommended on-the-road price when you trade in your old vehicle for a new Ford car.
Say no to Catherine.
Ford. Ford. Together, we go further.
Retail customers only who trade in a vehicle registered before 31st of December 2010. Scrappage savings between £2,000 and £4,950 dependent on model or to the recommended on-the-road price, including VAT. Selected
Come,
January 2018 and register from 1st of January to 30th of September 2018.
You come and go. Love and be easy if the colours are like my dreams.
Or a bit of
red,
this.
gold and green. Red, gold,
Obviously this.
green.
Please, can I have another ice cream?
If you've been nodding along, then it's time you joined the millions of others with the Sun Holes from £9.50. Hole yeah!
Chameleon.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade-quality building products. In January, we've got 10 litres of Selco Contract Matte Emulsion in Magnolia or Brilliant White for only £10.75 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals and thousands of products in stock at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade
Chameleon. You come and go. You come and go.
Charles and Bobby.
I go to green.
With Auto Trader. Auto Trader Limited is a credit broker, not a...
We
help from the Pensions Regulator. Visit workplacepensions.gov.uk.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
With the latest at midnight, I'm Carl Hartley. Theresa May has been accused of negligence over
Theresa
the
May
collapse
is
of
dead.
Carillion, Britain's second largest construction company. Labour's demanded to know why the government kept awarding contracts to the firm despite a series of profit warnings. The party claims it's proof that private firms are exploiting public sector workers. Transport Secretary Chris Grayling, who oversees the projects run by Carillion, disagrees.
I don't think government should suddenly start to create a giant construction firm of its own and to build its own mega projects. I mean, nobody does that anywhere in the world.
Now, police are advising drivers to avoid travelling tonight in southern and central Scotland as forecasters warn of more severe weather. A number of amber alerts have been issued by the Met Office after heavy snowfall last night. These drivers were stuck after the snow closed roads.
I saw snowplows getting stuck and a lot, so I mean it took 6 hours to do 4 mile.
It was quite frightening because there were HGVs coming up the fast lane, obviously trying to beat the snow that was coming down. So, I mean, the visibility was just horrendous.
A man who strangled a 17-year-old girl and hid her body in a cling film-wrapped wardrobe has been jailed for her murder. 24-year-old Ashley Foster left the body of Megan Bills to decompose for 18 days at an ex-offenders hostel in Westminster. And in sport, Chelsea are into the FA Cup fourth round, but only after being taken all the way to penalties by Norwich at Stamford Bridge in their replay. The Championship side equalised deep into stoppage time to earn a 1-1 draw before Antonio Conte's men eventually won 5-3. Elsewhere, League One Wigan have pulled off a big shock after beating top flight Bournemouth 3-0. Windy with some heavy rain across the south, heavy snow in Northern Ireland, Northern England and Southern Scotland, with temperatures dropping down to -3.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
It always amused me. I didn't find out until in my 20s that his full name is Arthur Garfunkel. I didn't know that that's what art was short for.
Really? What did you...
Just thought it was art. Arthur Garfunkel, All I Know, written by Jimmy Webb. That's a great song.
James.
James
is short for his...
No, I don't think Jimmy Webb's his real name. Google Jimmy Webb's real name.
You should have asked him that.
Well,
he's having an interviewer.
First question. What's your real name, you bastard?
Birth name, Jimmy Lane Webb.
There we
He's
go.
not a James.
Nope.
He's a Jimmy.
He's a Jimmy, yeah, I thought so. Hey, I've got to be honest, got the sweats on, which is not a great sign. It's not a great sign, but we can work through the sweats.
But it is warm in here.
0344 499 or 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call on a Wednesday night, you can give us a call. Is it Wednesday night?
It is Wednesday, yeah.
It's Wednesday.
Well, no, it's Thursday morning.
Tomorrow? No, I don't. No. 1 o'clock, of course, Paul Ross is coming in, doing his thing, having a chitty chat through the night until 5. Then it's James Max until 6:30. Then it's Julia. And you can work out the rest of the bloody schedule yourself, you lazy gits. You think I'm the Radio Times.
Did I give you the book that you gave me to give you?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Yes, you did. What to do in this last hour? Watcher comes from What Cheer, which was it was a greeting, but it was used in Taming of the Shrew. What Cheer has been abbreviated to Watcher. Heard that on Radio 4 the other day. I think it's an interesting fact.
It's good, yeah.
And I like sharing interesting facts. It was on this brilliant programme hosted by... it's really interesting because it feels like it's about nothing, but it's about language, by Roger McGough. Is he the Scouse?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's the other one. It's not Roger McGough.
Oh, is it the one from Luton?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Don't Google it. We can do this.
It's in my head. I've been to see him.
I always associate the two together. Writes brilliant children's books. I mean, just brilliant. Roger McGough.
Glasses.
No, Roger McGough's got glasses.
Yeah, but he's got glasses as well. If it's the one I'm thinking of. He thinks contact lenses are a lie.
Okay, well, but this is the next hour of the show, is us trying to remember the name of a children's author and the host of this show on Radio 4.
Oh, well, if it's a children's author...
Well, he writes children's books.
You're thinking Michael Rosen?
Yeah.
All right, well, you're not thinking of the bloke I was thinking of.
No. You weren't thinking of the bloke I was thinking of.
You said yes.
Well, I didn't know where he's from.
Michael Rosen isn't from Luton.
Well, but always associate... Well, how did you get Michael Rosen, then?
Because you said children's author, and then I thought I've heard it.
I said it several times.
Well, then but you'd said yes in the first instance.
I don't know where he's from.
I don't know whether he's written John Hegley I was thinking of.
Oh, not John Hegley. No, but Michael Rosen and Roger McGough used to work together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well... Anyway, so it's a brilliant programme, and they dissect language beautifully.
You know that's my porn.
Listen, download this show and listen to it. It's brilliant. And it's him and a woman whose name I don't know. And, oh God... And then they have a guest on, and they'll look at like one really tiny aspect of language. And this week it was like greetings, like and the expert was a guy who'd done research into how people greet each other. It was just brilliant, It's absolutely brilliant, and it just sounds like what I think good radio should be. It was just three people having a chat, and then I heard another show on 4 Extra, which I've talked about before, the Moth Radio Hour, and it's brilliant. And Moth is kind of like TED Talks, but they're not really necessarily inspirational. It's just people's experiences, and then they pick the best and they kind of link it and they do it as like an hour-long radio show. It's great. I thoroughly recommend you get the podcast, Catherine, and everyone else does. And there was this great story from this guy, and I'm not going to do it any justice whatsoever, but he's a bit of he's like a New York Italian, a New York Italian.
Bada boom, bada bing.
That kind of guy. And he talks about when he was in 1960, he was a kid, and there was like a big meal at his house, and he was jumping off the sofa, and his Uncle Tommy, who was a cop, said, "Will you knock it on their head?" And I kept doing it, and he said, "Will you knock it on their head?" And I kept doing it, so he got me and he handcuffed me to a radiator. And I'm like 11 years old, and that was the moment I flipped. And I went absolutely nuts. And I said, you untie me from this radiator. And he said, what? No. And I said, you untie me and I'm kicking out. And I said, I'm doing it a lot of justice. Anyway, basically he puts that as the moment that he kind of flipped and turned bad.
Oh.
Because his uncle, he's like Ted, his uncle unchained him, unhandcuffed him, and he got a bottle and smashed it over his head and ran out. And he said, for the next 15 years, I was like a bad boy, and I put it down primarily to that, to the shame and the embarrassment. And then he talks about hitchhiking, and then it jumps forward. He says, flash forward 12 years. I'm 22. I'm hitchhiking along the Michigan freeway, and it's cold. And I get in this car, and this guy's got tools in the back of his car, and there's a bag, and we're driving along. And he says, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Charlottesville. He says, well, I'm not going to Charlottesville. I'm only going far as Jamestown, but I'll take you to Charlottesville if you let me play with your dick.
Whoa!
And I say, I ain't playing with my dick. You ain't playing with my dick. And he says, and then he says, the guy pulls out a gun. And I said, mister, you picked the wrong guy. He said, I get in the car and I said, you look familiar. And he says, nah, we never met. He said, you look like my brother's father-in-law. He says, we ain't never met, kid. And he plays that. And then he says, and I say, mister, you picked the wrong guy, because I'm crazy and pissed off enough that if you try and go for my dick, I'm going to grab that steering wheel, drive us both off the edge, and we're both going to die. Then the guy put the gun down, and he said, I'll drop you off. I said, no, you're taking me all the way there, and if you go anywhere near my dick, both of us are going to die. All right. And then he says,
It's on Radio 4?
The 4 extra. And then he says, they bleeped out dick. Oh. Bizarrely, even though they've
been swearing their heads off this week.
And then he says, right, flash forward another 15 years. It's 1992. I'm in my brother's apartment, and the news comes on, and a face flashes up on the screen, and my brother says to my sister-in-law, hey, that guy looks like your dad. And basically, it turns out this sex offender who'd killed 32 young men had been sentenced to death.
Wow!
And it was the same guy.
So he would have killed him anyway.
Yeah, and he said, if my Uncle Tommy hadn't chained me up and and I hadn't turned into a bad boy, I could have been number 33.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Not only did he cheat death, he made death drive him to Charlottesville.
What a story! What a story! And this is honestly, the Moth Radio is full of that stuff. Absolutely
incredible.
This is what I think radio should be, right? The best radio is all about stories for me. And I've kind of distilled this down in the last couple of years. It's about stories. Now, that can be anything. Whether it's one person telling a story like that guy. It's about 8 minutes long, that story. Or whether it's, a presenter interviewing someone, or it's talking about a news story, or it's you guys listening and phoning up and telling me what you did today. For me, it's all stories, man. It's all about good stories. And that's the thing. And my kind of job in this show in particular is to try and nudge the best stories out of the people that call in, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't need to do it because you guys come prepared with stuff that is great, and sometimes I don't quite get it right. But for me, all radio that grabs me and excites me is about stories, man. That's all it is, and that term is as vague as it is broad. They can be anything. But that's what it is for me. Why am I telling you this? I don't know. I'm just in that kind of mood. I'm just in that kind of mood to kind of, I was going to say spill my guts, but that was 2 nights ago. But, I'm just in that kind of mood of sharing a little bit that we've got. I've got a glass of brandy here. I'm just sharing the wisdom. Oh, nice brandy. 0344.
Such a plum.
I've never had brandy. Drinks I've never had. Brandy. I think I've had schnapps. Schnapps rings a bell.
Yeah, you have. You'll have had Archers and lemonade back in the day.
Okay. I tell you a drink I once had, right? When we were 17, right? Me and Malcolm and Matthew and Chadders, we went to Newquay, because Malcolm had just passed his driving test. We drove to Newquay for the surf, right? We went camping.
For the surf. Did you surf?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I surfed. We went for the surf, yeah. Did you? Why is that funny? We spent an hour putting our wetsuits on, and then someone just shouted, "You got them on back to front, lads."
Were you zipping them up the front?
No, you're supposed to zip them up the front.
No.
Yeah, you're supposed to zip them up the front.
Back.
No, you're supposed to. This is what we thought. No, you're supposed to zip them up the front. Anyway, and then we went to this pub, right?
Did you have a surfboard or like a bodyboard thing?
We hired surfboards.
Did you get on them?
Yeah, I went surfing.
Did you stand up?
No, I couldn't stand up. But you still come in.
Paddled on them.
We knelt on them and surfed it. Flipping heck, what a rush! Couldn't stand up. But then we went. We got most of it. We got pissed, right? And we went to this pub and we got talking to these older lads. Like they're in their 20s. We were 17, and they bought us this round of drinks. Of a drink called a green chartreuse. Right. Which is green and is vile. And it's served to you, right, a light. They light it, right? So you've got a flaming drink. And I'm 17. I'm not drunk that much, right? I'm looking at it going, I am way out of my depth here.
Do you have to wait for it to go out?
Well, so I went to drink it while it's alight. And one of the lads went, "Don't be such a pussy. You're supposed to put the fire out." And I'm thinking, surely me going to drink it while it's alight is the opposite of being a pussy. Yeah. And that makes me like super hard. And I have to go, yeah, I know that. It's just, yeah. God, it was the most... Never drink or eat anything when you've seen it in flames in front of me.
You never do sambucas?
No,
yeah.
No. I did like absinthe. Oh, that's a fad.
I bet that drove you nuts.
Oh, mate. Me and Tessa in Prague on absinthe. Oh, God, we were stealing all of the pictures on the wall. It was the night that the election between George W. Bush and the man who's got a bottom like a sort of like a nan. He's got like a sort of an old woman's bottom. You know the fella.
Is it like Ross
and it was a recount. The guy who makes them. No, don't Google it. We can do this. The guy who makes films about the environment.
About the environment.
What's his
name?
No,
not Dan Quayle.
No, not Dan Quayle. Come on.
No, it's gone.
Don't type it on the screen. Because I want to. Come on, don't Google it.
I'm not googling it.
We should be able to get this. Al Gore.
Al Gore.
Is it Al Gore?
Yeah.
And it was that.
Has he got a funny bum?
Yeah, Google a picture of Al Gore's bum.
I'm allowed to Google that, am I?
Yeah, and I remember we were stealing pictures in the hallway of the hotel. I remember I walked dog shit on a white carpet, staying in a really nice hotel. I won the money to go there in a casino. And then we were tripping our nuts off on absinthe, and then we bumped into, bizarrely, in this hotel in Prague, my then girlfriend Tessa, two of her friends were really, really posh. And so if anyone's ever been high, and then kind of had to engage in a conversation where you're pretending not to be high, it's the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Bad news, everyone. If you put Al Gore bum in, you don't get anything.
He's had it taken down. Al Gore ass.
Really?
Looks like ass.
Is he famous?
He's American. Well, I've noticed it. I can't be the only one that's noticed Al Gore's ass. Yeah. It's like an old woman's ass.
Okay.
Just Al Gore from behind.
God.
Well,
I really will get something.
Let's find this after this break.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio, give it some lip.
What seems to be the problem? It's my career. It's broken down. Well, let's take a look. Work-life balance? How's that running? It's not. Okay, so you're the boss or the employee? The slave. Know what? You need something new, mate.
Become a RED driving instructor and change direction. With comprehensive training, job satisfaction and work in your own hours. RED. Get your career in gear. Go to reddrivingschool.com for details. Go RED and get ahead.
Sky Mobile is bursting with brilliant offers. Get a Samsung Galaxy S8 with a Gear Fit 2 Pro worth £209. For just £32 a month with no upfront costs. Plus, enjoy double data on all our phones with 1 gig for the price of 500 meg. For a mobile offer that's bursting with brilliance, search Sky Mobile. Double data ends 1st of Feb and is lost upon leaving the plan outside offer period. Subject to status and credit check. 30-month interest-free loan and data plan required. 12-month min-term. 18+. Price includes £5 per month data plan with 1 gig of pay-to-go calls and texts for non-Sky TV customers. Terms apply.
All the money in the world from director Ridley Scott is now BAFTA nominated for supporting actor Christopher Plummer. Critics are calling it terrific and thrilling.
Mr. Getty, how much would you pay to release your grandson?
Nothing. Plummer is simply fantastic and compellingly brilliant. All the money in the world. At cinemas now, rated 15. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. On air and off the leash. On Talk Radio.
OK, the kids are asking for it, so the kids have got it. Good evening, Kadir.
I finished my bottle, so all good now.
Excellent stuff, Kadir. What do you have for us this evening?
Well, first I'd just like to say, if you do need to go, it's fine, because I've got a story sort of similar. I had one of those ones where I had to go for a number 2, but I sort of waited the whole day.
Yeah.
And it came to the end where we were having sort of a gathering, and I excused myself. I excused myself to go to the loo. I did my business, and because of what I did, my fault. I was there for a while, and I finished up, left, and as I was walking away from the bathroom, I thought, I've still got more in me. I thought I could go for a round 2, but obviously I couldn't then go and say I'm going to have to go back, because then it does sound like something's fishy, something's up. So I was sat there for a good few hours. In agony, as my rectum was expanding at an alarming rate, and obviously I couldn't say I'm going back in. Obviously, who would?
Yeah, well, no.
Well.
So how big did your? Okay, go on.
Well, go on. Were you going to say how big my rectum was?
No, I was, then I didn't. So you can't answer that question because I didn't ask it.
Sure. So I had to wait, and then eventually come around 1 a.m. Taxi home, and just when I got home, it was a nightmare. It was just a flipping nightmare.
Well,
have you ever? I had to buy a plunger for the first time in my life the other week.
Thanks so much.
Charming story. You should save that and tell it at dinner parties.
Here's the thing: you don't need a plunger for the toilet. Why would you use a plunger in a toilet? You don't. Here's the thing as well: you don't need plungers for sinks. You do it with your hands. You just put your hand over the plug and you can do it like that. Do you know who taught me that? Steve Guttenberg. You know why? He used to be a plumber. Steve Guttenberg.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Steve Guttenberg used to be a plumber, and he taught me that if your sink is blocked, you can just make a sort of vacuum with your hand, and you can just do it like that. If you're giving life support to a dying man, and that will be just as effective. And if your toilet's blocked, what do you need the plunger for? You need a hand and a sleeve that is rolled up, and you put it in, and you think of nice things while you're doing it. Little fiddle, it's done, and you wash your hand, and you never talk about it again.
You also need more fibre in your diet.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Let's go to Simon. Good evening, Simon.
Gross.
Well, yeah, that's these are the last great taboos.
I just love listening to this show because you just learn something new every day.
Yeah. Oh, we're nothing if not educational. Lord Reith would be proud of us, although he would be ashamed for the BBC for sacking us. But up theirs. Anyway, yes.
I'm ringing because one of the first things you said when you opened tonight was about songs that have been covered needlessly.
Oh yeah, bad cover versions. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I don't listen to music-based commercial radio. I find it very teeny bopperish, if you see what I mean.
Teeny bopperish? Yeah, you obviously haven't listened to it since about 1976. Teeny bopperish?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a bit cheesy. It's a bit, there's absolutely no point in having presenters on shows like that because they don't do anything.
Yep.
It's not like they can get you into a conversation or anything like that.
Nope.
And I'm constantly having a dig and a conflab with my flatmate about this because he does listen to
that kind of radio show, and he's a van driver, and I'm like, you're just so uncultured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to just be...
Talk Radio is the home of
I was
culture.
going to say, meanwhile, you listen to this.
The home of culture. Mike Graham at 10 o'clock in the morning, the home of culture.
I just, I'd say to him, you're a heathen. I need to be mentally stimulated.
Yes.
And this does it. So anyway, incidentally, I'd like to repeat a point I made last night. Thank you, Talk Radio, for having Paul Ross after this show, because I now no longer need to tune to LBC.
Well done.
I am LBC free, thank God.
You are clean, you are pure, and may God bless your soul for that. Paul Ross, of course, on at 1 o'clock every weekday night.
Yep, and thank you.
And he's gone. There we go. I didn't do that, he did that. That's his own fault. Good evening, Kasif. Unfortunately, it's of such low quality.
I know what that is.
What is it?
Game of Thrones.
Okay. Why was he doing that? He's been on the phone for about 40 minutes.
He's trying to get you to watch Game of Thrones. That's not the way, Kasif.
Well, all that did was give me a headache. I'm not going to watch Game of Thrones. It's bloody awful, that programme. Hey, I tell you what I've started watching, though. Thanks to everyone on Twitter who's been recommending it. Dark. The German mystery programme, Dark. Have you seen it, Sam? Oh, you'd like it. You'd like Dark. I don't want to give away too much, but child goes missing in a small German town. Not a lot happens. Second child goes missing. Oh, he's the son of the chief copper. Quite a lot happens. I don't want to give away a lot, right? I'm going to give you one clue, Sam, right, as to why I think you'll like it. There's a mysterious figure, and he's got a newspaper that says, "Where is Mikkel?" Mikkel is the young lad. Mikkel, of course, is German for Michael, and so it says, "Wo ist Mikkel?" Where is Mikkel? Wo is where? Ist is Mikkel is Michael. Wo ist Mikkel? Don't answer that call. Don't answer that call, because you need to hear this. The mysterious guy crosses out the word wo, where, and writes, I don't know what the German word is, I don't remember.
Van, isn't it? Van.
He writes, when is Mikkel? What I'm saying is, because Sam's not picked it, there's a bit of time travel in there. Little bit of time travel in there. Whoa, baby! When he wrote that, I got a time travel boner. Trust me. Although I knew time travel was coming. And then episode 3.
All right, well, stop it, because you said I've got to catch up with it before we
Well,
discuss this.
my sister don't like it. My sister don't like it. Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. My sister don't like it. Rock. When I was in Morocco, I was near the Casbah.
Did you rock it?
I couldn't be bothered to go. Because it was such a boring place, Morocco. I thought, I can't go.
And full of drunkards of a night.
Hey. And the Clash would have been there. So Dark is excellent.
Yes.
Thoroughly enjoying that. And for some reason... There's a dubbed version, people were telling me. When I watched it on my phone, it came... came up straight away with the subtitled version, auf dem Deutsch. Just keep watching. Watch that. You watch the first 2 episodes, then we'll watch episode 3 together. Right?
Okay.
But I might watch episode 3 tomorrow, and lie to you, and like I did once with my wife when we were watching Lost, and I had to sit through 2 episodes of Lost that I'd already watched, pretending I hadn't watched them. I had to go, oh, flip. Oh, God, he's died. Oh, didn't expect that. There's 2 episodes of Lost that I'd already watched.
Why would you do that?
Because I didn't want to upset her, but I really wanted to watch Lost.
So you'd watched it on your own?
Yeah, I downloaded it from a BitTorrent and watched it.
How deceptive.
Yeah, I watched it with a mate as well. Yeah, I watched it with mate.
That makes it worse.
Me and Agent Chris watched it, and we both said we can't tell our girlfriends about this. So he didn't tell his girlfriend. I didn't tell my girlfriend, wife, to be, and we watched Lost together. Me and Chris. We watched one. It's like doing drugs. It's like, well, should we just have one? All right then. But then that is it. Then we watched one. I said, I've got another one. It was like, oh, yeah, go on then. Might as well.
It's already ruined.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
In Spanish they say de perdido al río.
Do they really?
From lost to the river.
Yeah.
You might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. What they say in Greece instead of it's all Greek to me?
It's all Chinese?
Yeah, it's all Chinese to me.
In Spanish they say Chinese.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Because I would say Greek is harder than Chinese. 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio with me, Iain Lee.
Just when you thought it was safe to turn on your radio, the big beast of broadcasting is back.
Talk Radio has harpooned a whale. A great, big, stinking, smelly one.
The voice of reason returns to Talk Radio.
Hello, I'm James Whale.
The legendary James Whale is back.
Great whale tales from the blowhole.
The James Whale Show, tonight from 7.
100% whale, 0% blubber.
On Talk Radio, we'll get you talking. Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee. The late night alternative with Iain Lee.
On Talk Radio.
Interview with Scott Walker in The Guardian. I shall enjoy that. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Simon has come back. Good evening, Simon.
Oh, hello. I don't know what happened there.
You bowled it, mate, and that's fine.
Ah, that's what it was. That's what I peaked. That's what it was. Yeah.
What you got for us, love?
I was saying about my love of commercial music, chewing gum type radio.
Yeah.
Right. And I always argue with my flatmate about, I need to be mentally stimulated and having you listen to that crap, etc., etc. Right now, my point was underlined because before Christmas, I thought, right, I'm going to have a listen just to see what he sees in this, see if I've missed the point.
Yes.
To my horror, this song came on the radio.
Ah.
And it was...
I know exactly what song it was. It would have been this, wouldn't it? This is all over Capital and Heart at the moment, guys.
It's our new jam.
Say no to strangers. Say no, 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 no. Say no to strangers. Where to go? Black or white, fat or thin, homeless or no, to their thoughts. Say no to strangers. Don't let them touch your bum.
Was it that?
No, but I do want a copy of it.
Okay.
Okay, all you need to do is go back to 1983.
Yes.
Well, that's much more stimulating than these radio stations. So the song was some girl or woman who has redone a version of The Power of Love, Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I was furious.
What? Why?
Because a song like that should not be touched.
Oh, now is it? Now here's the thing. We don't necessarily know that this is a pony cover version because you have already expressed your outright hatred for these types of radio stations. So you've gone in bias. Now, if we were to say Candy Flip, Strawberry Fields Forever, obviously a piss poor song.
Well,
if we were to say River City People, California Dreaming, obviously a terrible, terrible song. We don't know that this version of The Power of Love is so bad. Who's it by?
I don't know.
I bet I know how it goes.
Go on.
I bet it's even slower, and it sounds even more miserable. And fey. The power. It'd be something like Whispering Girl.
Here we go. Here we go.
Whole point.
Here we go. I think I've got it. This is it. Here we go. Oh no, this can't be it. This is old. It's not this version, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Didn't this get used in a John Lewis advert?
Yeah.
No, it's not it.
Okay, because that's actually quite good.
No, it's not that one. Sounds a lot more newer than that.
Oh, a lot more newer than that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Someone phone up and tell me, please, because I don't know.
It was that one.
I think it was. I don't think it's been done again.
Hang on, is it this? Hang on. Oh no, that's from the French version of The Voice. It won't be that.
It might have been that one. It's just that the quality of my phone.
Oh, well, you're a muppet then. Well, that's a great version. No, you're wrong. You're wrong, Simon. That's a great version. Yeah, it's a great version. Goodbye. Great version. He's wrong. No, I like that version. Hey, do you know what I've been chatting with privately on Facebook? The girl from the Chewy advert.
The one that sings that song?
Yeah.
She's bloody awful.
No, don't say that. She's listening tonight.
No,
don't.
I just don't like that sort of stuff.
She's listening tonight.
Well,
I told her to listen.
She's your friend, not mine.
Alice, I told her to listen. No, because I love it. I absolutely love that song. It's Alice Higgins sings it. I love it. Oh, I love it. No, I know a lot of people. But here's the thing, right? Because I've done a little bit of research on this. Honestly, I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I like it because it's a little bit.
Ain't Nobody, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
No.
Oh no, you're wrong.
That's untouchable as far as I'm concerned.
Well, okay. Well, you're wrong because she's listening, and B, because it is brilliant, and C, because that's not how she normally sings. You know, she was told to do it that style for an advert, and I've listened to some of her other songs, and that's not how she normally sings.
I'm not saying I don't like her. I'm saying that song.
No, she's good. No,
I don't like that arrangement.
No, I like it. I'm trying to get a cobby of it. Seriously, I think it's brilliant.
God.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And I know that I'm potentially in the minority here, but I'm obsessed with that song. I'm obsessed. I've been having a little chitty chat with her. She's very nice.
I find it intensely
Well, I know, but here's the thing. She's actually listening, so let's not keep being really rude about it.
No, I'm not being rude about it.
You are a little bit.
I find...
You are a little bit.
The current trend for slowing down old songs...
But it's not a current trend. This has been going... The first one, of course, was... I interviewed them in... 2003 maybe, the fella that did the film from Donnie Darko that was a slowed down version.
Yeah, Mad World.
I mean, I've said this before, it's a great way to have a hit. If you want to have a hit, just do a stripped down version of a fast song from the 1980s. Biff Baff Boof, Bob's Your Uncle. You've got yourself a hit. You cannot go wrong with it. I don't know why Cliff Richard doesn't release like an album of slowed down songs from the 80s.
Oh God, yeah. Why?
And just call it Slowed Down Songs from the 80s by Cliff Richard, because he'd have like number ones coming out of his arse. Imagine that. Imagine Cliff Richard's arse just pouring out number ones, gold every single time. It would be wonderful. It's a surefire way to have a hit, kids, and trust me, I know pop. I never got round to releasing my album because I ended up in the jungle, didn't I? So I didn't get the chance to do that.
Well, save it. I mean, is the Easter market a thing?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Songs that have songs where they've tried to make a time of the year a thing. Right, I'll go first. Happy New Year by ABBA.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go.
Got another one.
Hang on. Well, Last Summer by ABBA.
Well, right.
That's the time of the year.
No, but that's not specific. That's the season. I'm talking about specific times of the year. Mama by the Spice Girls, released on Mother's Day.
It was.
It was released in the run up to Mother's Day.
Shut up. You're making that up.
No, I'm not making it up. You can Google that. If you Google it, you're a dick. But Google it because that is true. It was. They didn't just release it like in November or something. They released it sort of March for Mother's Day. Mother's Day. That is a fact.
We'll see.
Well, no, because we know. Someone's going to be eating some delicious humble pie.
Released in November 1996. That is a long run up to Mother's Day.
Well, mate, no, that's the American release. It was released in Britain.
No.
In the run up to Mother's Day. Let's go to another because she can't be in a dick.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Don't be down. See, things are looking up. There's an upbeat upside to 2018 already. Just step up to the Renault Upgrade event. Upgrade your old car and get up to an additional £2,000 towards a Renault Kadjar, all-new Koleos or new Capture. It's up to you. Just order your upgrade by the 31st of March 2018. Visit Renault.co.uk/upgrade to find out more. Vehicles must be registered by the 31st of March 2018. Subject to status, T&Cs apply, 18 plus. Retail customers only, participating dealers only.
5 weeks ago, 19 men attacked our country. We'll be the first to fight back. From the Peninsula of Black Hawk down. Reinforcements, no extraction. We're on our own. Based on the declassified true story of the horse soldiers. Chances are we are not going to make it out of this one. We're with horsemen against tanks. Strap in tight. Chris Hemsworth. Strong. Cinemas, January 26th.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone listening? Finally. You're hearing me. Being heard has never been easy for me. I was sexually abused as a child and in the past have been let down by organisations I trusted. That's why the Truth Project was set up. It's part of the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, which aims to give me the opportunity to share my experience confidentially and without judgment. Because getting a better picture of the past will help build a safer place for children in the future.
If you were sexually abused as a child, visit truthproject.org.uk.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The incredible new sound of Talk Radio.
The No Nonsense Breakfast with Julia Hartley-Brewer.
The biggest breaking news stories, headline-grabbing guests and razor-sharp opinion.
Join me, Julia Hartley-Brewer, when I'll be turning up the heat every morning from 6:30 with an essential mix of straight-talking debate, heavyweight political guests and fearless content.
Waking up the nation with a brand new breakfast conversation.
The No Nonsense Breakfast with Julia Hartley-Brewer.
This morning from 6:30
on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation, worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here we go. Here's the worst example, I think, of the slowed down song. You know this one?
I don't mind this.
You like it because it's Frenchy and
I've got a whole album of this.
The Nouvelle Vague.
Yeah, Nouvelle Vague. I like them.
Oh.
They've done something different with it.
Alright, let's try this. Oh, no, hang on. This is the same. Oh, there we go, eh? I wasn't expecting that.
Du var lärling här på våran herrgård och du hade det inte lätt som du fick jobba varje vecka. Jag tyckte hälften kunde räcka. En dag så hände det. Den enda som kunde tända flamman var en lärling på våran gård.
I wasn't
What
expecting
language is that?
I do not know. Language of Love. We'll try this one. Oh, this might be nice. Oh, this is going to be good, actually. Do you know this song?
Yes.
It's a great
Boys
song.
Don't Cry.
Yeah. Here we go. They don't play Killing an Arab very often on the radio anymore, do they?
Funny that.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a good song.
I would say I'm sorry.
Oh, he's got the underwater effect on his... All right, this, of course, kicked it all off. You know this? This is great. It's a man I've met. I've shook his hand. Jose Feliciano.
Wow.
It's Jose.
Who, of course, sang which of our favourite Christmas songs?
Of course, he sang Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Okay, let's try. What's this?
Miss Dynamite.
This is, by the way, this is all off the Tom Middleton Presents Crazy Cover Versions album, which is just a joy. Here we go.
Well, I'm the same little girl that grew up next door to you. I went through all the things a teenage girl goes through. Hanging out all night, breaking my curfew. When my daddy hit the door, I gave my mama the blues. Used to spend my time lazing hazy days away. Thought I was grown, left home at 15, didn't want to obey. Had to get my act together, couldn't take the heat. And now I'm making beats with the street. I miss Dynamite. I just miss Dynamite.
They're good, they are. What's this?
And then the Papinis, of course.
Yes, of course.
They did some belters.
Oh, jeez. Let's try one more.
Oh, no.
लीलो लीलो दिल मेरा ले लो मैं लाई हूँ नजराना ये प्यार का ठुकराओ ना प्यारे तुम्हें मेरी कसम है सनम सुनो मेरा कहा ले लो दिल मेरा ले लो मैं लाई हूँ नजराना ये प्यार का ठुकराओ ना प्यारे तुम्हें मेरी कसम है सनम सुनो मेरा कहा मुझको अपना बना लो.
Someone is telling me, I wonder if it'll be on YouTube. Hang on, let me,
Oh.
Here we go. Someone's told me this slowed down from 45 to 33 is the best.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Oh my God, this is horrific.
Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice...
That's horrendous.
Have you heard Dolly Parton's Fine Young Cannibals cover?
Fine Young Cannibals?
Cannibals?
No.
Yeah, she did drive me crazy.
Aye,
it's brilliant. It's very banjo-tastic.
Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton. We've scared off all the callers there, which is... where are the papers? Let's have a little look at the papers, shall we? Oh, dear God.
You still got sweat on?
Yeah, I don't feel... I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Oh, Kid Jensen's not very well. Yeah. Oh, Kid Jensen's poorly. He's got Parkinson's. Oh, bloody hell. That's such a horrible disease. And well, I've never met Kid Jensen, but you always get the feeling, what a nice guy. Him and Mike Smith, I always used to kind of put together, because they're blonde radio presenters. But you think, oh, what? I think he was on Eamon's show earlier on. You think, oh, what a nice guy. Terrible. It was such a horrendous disease. Radio star David Kid Jensen. Revealed he's been battling Parkinson's disease for the past 5 years. The 67-year-old former BBC DJ and Top of the Pops presenter said he went public about his illness to support fundraising efforts in a bid to find a cure. Oh, man. Oh, that's lousy, that is. That is lousy. That is. That's a crappy disease. Let's try and find something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more uplifting, shall we? Oh, right, so there's loads of Lord Lucan memorabilia is going on sale. Lucanalia, it's been described here in the Daily Mirror. I think that's the only place that's using the word Lucanalia. Hundreds of items of a Lucanalia are going on sale to the public, including Lord Lucan's ermine.
Ermine?
Yep, it's got an E at the end, so it's ermine.
No.
Well, it's obviously the feminine, it's obviously feminine of ermine. Ermine gown and a prized top hat. Imagine having Lord Lucan's top hat. Hang on a minute, what did he do? Oh, he murdered a nanny.
He might have.
We can't libel Lord Lucan if that's what you're worried about. He's not going to come all the way over from Brazil, is he? And
He'll be long gone now, won't he?
Lord Lucan murdered the nanny. He thought it was his wife he was trying to murder. She's only just died recently.
Yeah. She was still cross about it.
Yeah, well, you would be. You would be. He went off to Brazil, where he lived, grew his hair, but kept the moustache. In all of the pictures, it's a long-haired man with a moustache.
It's Lord Lucan with
Gotta
long hair.
be Lord Lucan. Dozens of the fugitive's ties and bow ties, along with many of his wife's dresses and hats, are also among the hoard up for auction next month. Oh, it's tempting, isn't it? It's tempting to put a cheeky bid on a bow tie. The hat will go for a few thousand. The extraordinary collection was retrieved from their house following Lady Lucan's death, aged 80. James Leese of Holloway's Auctioneers, Banbury, said it is a little difficult to put a value on much of it, because without the link to Lucan it would be worthless. It is certainly one of the most bizarre collections I've ever seen. Lucan's walking sticks, coat of arms, and, here we go, here's the Nirvana, self-portraits by his wife are among the lots. Higher value items are being sold separately for charity shelter, to whom Lady Lucan left most of her estate. She died in September. In 1974, Lucan fled the house in Belgravia, West London, accused of killing the nanny. He went to Brazil, where he grew his hair long but kept the moustache, and would regularly pose for blurry, out-of-focus photographs.
To be shown in the mirror.
Andrew's on the line. Good evening, Andrew.
Evening.
Evening.
You're looking for strange covers?
I'm looking for... well, yeah, sure, why the hell not?
There's a group called, on Facebook, not on Facebook, YouTube, called Postmodern Jukebox.
Yes.
And they do a cover of Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again.
Hang on a minute. Let's find postmodernjukebox.com. Postmodern Jukebox. Welcome to postmodernjukebox.com. What are we? I did it again. Sometimes okay, let's have a little look. Right. Well, it won't let me find it.
What, on YouTube?
Oh, I've got to go on YouTube. Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, come on.
But here's the thing. They're doing deliberately quirky versions, aren't they?
But doesn't everyone?
Well...
Doesn't everyone do a different version of it?
No. That's not... No. That's not what I said. They're doing deliberately quirky versions of it.
Yeah, okay. She's got very busy lips, I bet.
She's got a very busy body.
She hasn't.
Hasn't she just? That body's mighty busy.
I wasn't looking. Play again, let's see.
That is just so typically me. Oh, baby, oops, I did it.
Oh, there we go. There's the wiggle. Whoa! Yeah, I quite like that. That's quite good. Nice one, Andrew. Thank you for that, mate. Cheers. That's quite good. Wowzers, guys.
Does anyone ever play with your horn?
One for the dads there, guys. If you want to go and have a look at that. Who was the guy that we played once and he gets a little bit sweary? Somebody Cheese. What was his name? I used to have loads of his albums. He does lounge versions of, it doesn't matter. Evening, Daniel.
Hello.
Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the same? Daniel, you're my friend. Just showing my multi-octave voice. Unlike Mariah Carey, I can sing in all 12 of the human octaves and 3 that only animals can hear. Daniel, what have you got for us this evening?
Well, I was wondering if you could sing another song.
Oh,
really?
Yes. Oh, yes. Away you go, Daniel. What would you like me to sing?
Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
Mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. We dropped off there. What do you think this is? The Ken Bruce show? We start doing big ups to people. What is he thinking? What was he thinking? We don't do that. Although it might make us more popular with people if we were nicer to callers. I don't know. I don't know. No, he can kiss it. Anyway, we've played enough music. Close the computer. Close.
Oh. Don't lick that. Why are you licking that?
You can turn it off now. Yes, Daniel?
Hello?
Hello, Daniel. Sorry, you must have got cut off there.
Yes, don't worry. Yes, it's my birthday today.
Today?
Yes.
What, Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay, and
18th of January.
Okay, and what are you doing to celebrate your birthday?
Nothing today, but I'll be watching North End on Saturday.
What's North End?
Is
Is
that
that
film?
like no? Isn't that like a haulage company?
Preston North End.
Again,
football team.
Okay. Well, so you're not doing anything nice for your birthday?
Well, I'm going out for a meal as well.
Okay. Who's going out for the meal with you?
Family and friends.
Oh.
About 14 of us.
God Almighty! It sounds like hell.
And I'm having a fun day. I'm having a sort of a mum and Sunday.
Oh, that'll be nice. Mum and Sunday. What you do? What did you say? Mum and Sunday or Mum and Sunday?
Mum and Sunday.
And what day are you doing that?
me and
Please say
mum.
Sunday.
Today.
Oh, is she there with you?
She's not. She's in bed.
Okay, well, go and wake her up. Come on. It's Mum and Sunday today.
She's asleep.
Wake her up, I'm telling you. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to wake her up. Say, come on, it's my birthday. I want Mum and Sunday, and I want it to start now.
Where's my breakfast?
I know.
How old are you, Daniel?
I'm a quarter of a century old.
We do. Oh, so he's 35 years
Yeah,
old. That's
gosh.
great. That's great news.
25.
Thank you very much indeed for pointing that out. Hopefully you'll get some manners for your birthday, young man. Well, I wish you every success, and I hope you have a lovely Mother and Sunday on a Thursday.
Well, I also had a nice day on Wednesday.
That's great. Because my Wednesday was lousy. How was yours? That's it. We're done. We're back tonight at 10. Paul Ross is coming up next. Don't go nowhere. Thank you very much. Ta-ta.
Talk Radio. Listen. Phone. Talk. We'll get you talking.
The John Lewis clearance is now on. There are thousands of great offers across all your favourite brands,
Keen.
from kitchen and homeware to fashion and beauty, as well as expert advice from John Lewis partners and a minimum 2-year guarantee.
Thank you, Periscopers.
Visit John Lewis
That
or
was
shop online.
laid back show with some good bits.
For less.
Lovely Jimmy Webb. Lovely.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing.
Do you want to walk out with us? We'll show you Paul Ross.
Audio and instant wireless sharing.
He's there. He can come in. He can come in.
But the best thing about Zoom, it just works.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning.
You feeling better then?
I'm not puking and shitting. So we're still on here. Say hello, Paul, to these. I'm not puking and shitting, but I'm a little bit lightheaded.
A bit fragile.
How are
Bit
you
fragile.
doing? You're
Not
right.
bad.
Thank you for that book. That's very kind.
That's all right. No worries. It's a second volume I've got somewhere. If I find that, I'll bring
Oh,
that as well.
thank you, mate. Cheers. I'm just getting into Dylan. I know nothing about him, so I'm devouring everything I can find. Thank you, mate.
Have a good one. Bye.
That's lovely. Paul Ross is one of the nicest people you could ever meet. We like Paul Ross. There's my Partridge Family book. There's a Bob Dylan book I bought, and there's the Bob Dylan book that he gave me.
I don't know what's going on. There's Catman.
Sport jocks. Oh, I just slowly let one out then. I don't know if you heard it. What book are you going to send me?
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, Frank, there's a TV for you downstairs to pick up.
Yes, there is. Thank you. I'm going to get it tomorrow, but thank you.
I've made a note of that TV series as well.
Oh, mate, it's fucking brilliant. Yeah, it's like proper time travel fucked up.
Yeah.
Keeps disappearing, but...
Yeah, I'll work that one.
Yeah, it's good. I'm two and a half episodes in. I'm loving it.
Have a good night, guys. See you later.
Thank you, Sam. Right. Peace and love. Good night.